Magandang araw! April Marcas po, ang inyong pretty ate sa EdTech Unit. Alam ba ninyo na may webinar o online training session ng EdTech Unit tuwing Sabado? Ang araw na ito ay nakalaan para sa ating mga mahal na kaguruan upang turuan sila ng mga bagong kaalaman at kakayahan sa paggamit ng makabagong software at applications para sa pinaka-epektibong paraan at lubos mapaghusay ang kanilang paraan ng pagtuturo. This is also our refresher session for our beloved teachers to enhance their skills in technology. Every Saturday, we will conduct webinar sessions for teachers about the use, advantages, and relevance of different blended learning software applications. Ang webinar seryeng ito ay magsisimula ng alas 9 ng umaga hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali para sa morning session. Magsisimula naman ng alauna at magtatapos ng alas 4 ng hapon ang afternoon session. You can watch us in our DepEd EdTech Unit Facebook page, Educational Technology Unit YouTube channel, DepEd Tayo and DepEd Philippines. Kita-kits tayo tuwing Sabado!
Good day! This is Teacher Rowena. I'll be your guide in exploring Google Apps for Education, for teaching and learning. In Google for Education, teachers can connect and collaborate easily while staying on task. It gives teachers the freedom to spend more time personalizing the learning experience and less time managing it. Students can learn essential skills such as 21st century problem solving, which they can use it in their future careers. As such, the accessibility features will also help and assist every learner to do their best work. Google offers different useful applications that we can use to connect education to technology. This will help our teachers as a 21st century educators to innovate and find ways on how to make teaching and learning more exciting, engaging, effective, and flexible to the demands of the society. Let's re-explore the education experience by discovering new angles to create, collaborate, and communicate as one. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Ang pagkatuto huwag gawing komplikado. Sulong edukalidad.
Magandang araw! Ako po si Sir Ariel, ang ALS lover ng EdTech Unit. Narito po ako para sa isang napakagandang balita at upang magpaalala na ang kinabukasan ay mas gaganda at uunlad kung ang lahat ay patuloy na mag-aaral. Sa edukasyon sa ating bansa, tiyak na walang maiiwanan sa pag-abot ng mga pangarap. Kaya naman ang Department of Education ICTS Educational Technology Unit at Alternative Learning System Task Force ay nagtutulungan sa pagkakaroon ng ALS Tech Empowerment Program upang maihatid ang excellent quality education sa ating mga ALS learner and teachers. To easily deliver the lessons from the modules and other references, we will provide tablet PC as part of the DepEd computerization program to all ALS teachers and orientation on the use of these packages. To deepen the pedagogical use of information and communications and technology in delivering instructions, there are training workshops on the use and curation of open educational resources or OER, Google and Microsoft productivity tools, creation of video lessons using PowerPoint presentations and KineMaster, and on ebook or e-magazine development. To create an avenue for remedial lessons that is open to all learners, teachers, and parents, we will have the eTulay free online tutorial and mobile eTulay, where we will visit remote schools to feature the best practices of our ALS teachers and learners. Sa mga out-of-school youth and adult, laging tatandaan na may pag-asa upang makapagpatuloy sa pag-aaral. May ALS para sa inyo. Ang edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, para sa guro. Sulong edukalidad.
Did you have a hearty lunch, our dear participants? Welcome to the PM session of our day 2 of the webinar of our multidisciplinary webinar series. Right now, we will be going over to the talks that we prepared for you for the afternoon session. As you can see, Sir Jeff is not here because he will be doing something, and surely we will miss Sir Jeff. So for us to evaluate again the speakers that we have this morning, we will present to you the links and the QR codes for our presenters. All right. So before we present to you the link for the AM speakers, I would like to thank our educators for your participation until now. Here it is for our first speaker, Magdalena Brzezinska, and her topic is Don't Just Survive, Thrive as an Online Instructor. You may use the link or scan the QR code. For our second speaker, we have here, Sir, oh, I think that's for the afternoon. Okay, but you can screenshot too, so you will be ready for Sir Ariel's talk this afternoon. Actually, he will be the second speaker. All right, let's see. By the way, we would like to acknowledge teachers that are now commenting, are now using the hashtag ETUXGENTEFL 2021 Day 2. Thank you so much for showing your support. Here it is. Let's see. Oh, this is the link and the QR code that you can use to evaluate the talk of Sir Mark Anthony F. Hamizar. Let's have the third speaker from the AM session. Okay, I think our webinar directors are also excited to show to you the QR codes for the speakers in the PM session. We will continue showing you the other QR codes for our speakers. Now, let us list. Now let's have a video first about Google. Let's have first the video of Ma'am Weng.
Today, I'm going to discuss with you about Google Workspace Fundamentals for Education.
Ben, naipasa mo ba sa ano?
Good day, this is Teacher Rowena. I'll be your guide in exploring Google Apps for Education, for teaching and learning. In Google for Education, teachers can connect and collaborate easily while staying on task. It gives teachers the freedom to spend more time personalizing the learning experience and less time managing it. Students can learn essential skills such as 21st century problem solving, which they can use it in their future careers. As such, the accessibility features will also help and assist every learner to do their best work. Google offers different useful applications that we can use to connect education to technology. This will help our teachers as a 21st century educators to innovate and find ways on how to make teaching and learning more exciting, engaging, effective, and flexible to the demands of the society. Let's re-explore the education experience by discovering new angles to create, collaborate, and communicate as one. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Ang pagkatuto huwag gawing komplikado. Sulong edukalidad.
Okay, thank you for playing that video. Um, we will now be proceeding to our first speaker for the PM session. Actually, we're very proud to present her because she is dubbed as the Google Queen. She is a head teacher 3 at Makati Science High School as department head of technology and livelihood education, information and communications technology, or TLEICT. She demonstrates a vision and empowers others to deliver agreed departmental strategies among faculty members. Part of her work is to develop and sustain appropriate structures for management, consultation, decision making, and communication with staff and students on information and technology related programs and activities. Her expertise made her a trainer for ICT skills, competition handling both students and teachers for competitions. She has been an ICT teacher and ICT coordinator for 15 years prior to her being head teacher or department head. Part of her training includes that of the Google seminar and workshop during the top Google leaders meeting in Singapore in June 2016 and in May 2017. She then initiated the deployment of module Moodle Learning Management System or LMS at Makati Science High School, which tasks include management and updating of the school website and creation of students and teachers account in school domain for a well-managed ICT tools and equipment for teaching and learning as a result of the need for online classes amidst COVID-19 pandemic. To note, she increasingly widens her network when she was invited to attend and participate in the International Society Technology Education at Chicago, United States of America in June 2018. She is currently detailed at DepEd Central Office as an ethics specialist at the Information and Communications Technology Service Educational Technology Unit or ICTS-EdTech Unit. Her expertise in the information and communication technology was maximized when she became part of the OER, DepEd Commons, DepEd Learning Management Systems, DepEd TV, and DepEd Online, DepEd Itulay, a free online tutorial. As ETU Microsoft Education Programs lead on the different projects of the ICTS EdTech unit, she has always been passionate about promoting innovation in teaching and learning as she provides inputs in educational technology, open educational resources, and support for technology devices, systems, content, training, and collaborating with teachers in and out of the classroom. She is recognized as a Google certified educator for level 1 and level 2, making her the Google Educator Group lead as she is laterally recognized as Microsoft ambassador. She is a Computing Technology Industry Association Information Technology Fundamentals certified. As MS graduate of Masters of Science in Information Technology of Rizal Technological University, she is now in her doctoral degree, taking up Doctor of Technology Education. She works collaboratively with colleagues to design, develop, and deliver educational technology initiatives that are anchored on DepEd's mission of developing lifelong learners by strengthening together with community stakeholders and sharing the responsibility of providing learners opportunities to 21st century skills. As part of her advocacy, she is also a Google Educators Group leader, training teachers to be certified educators, thus initiating forums for educators to collaborate and support one another in using technology. As a Google certified educator for level 1 and level 2, Ms. Reyes devoted her time training and preparing talks and discussions from one school to another, from one division to another, empowering educators to learn and use Google for education products to make their lessons more innovative and interesting. For many educators, she is an innovator, making her ideas realized into action. Ladies and gentlemen, again, our first Speaker, Ms. Rowena A. Reyes.
Elevate education with simple, flexible, and secure tools with Google Workspace for Education. Include all the products you already use like Classroom, Meet, Gmail, Calendar, Drive, Docs, Sheets, Slide, and many more. More than 170 million students and educators worldwide rely on our suites of tools. Everything you need to teach, learn, connect, and share will remain all in one place, accessible from anywhere on any device. Make collaboration easier, streamline instruction, and keep your learning environment secure with Google Workspace for Education. Enhance class instruction. Utilize easy-to-use learning tools for better collaboration and connection. Boost productivity, save time by creating, organizing, sharing, and grading all in one place. Elevate students' work, help students turn in their best work with simple tools to support learning. Protect your school data, keeps everyone work's identity and privacy safe with proactive features, security features, and control. Google Workspace for Education Fundamentals is a suite of tools that can help increase opportunities for critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity, all while supporting the learning objectives that have for your students. These tools are free, ad-free, reliable, and secure. They are already used by millions of students in schools around the world. Of course, free is great, but the best thing is that these tools are relevant to students, easy to use, and open doors to many new ways of learning. Where teaching and learning came together with this platform in Google Workspace, fundamental is Google Classroom. It's a free web-based learning platform developed by Google, where teachers can run a class online, create curriculums, and share assignments with students in a paperless way. Technology can help classroom be more like real-world environments and better place students to enter an increasingly connected and globally competitive workforce. As teacher, we understand the importance of teaching basic skills like reading, writing, and math. But if we provide students with only the basic, then they will suffer from a huge gap in the knowledge and skills that they need to function well in 21st century workplace in order to be effective citizens, workers, and leaders in society. Students also need practice with critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and working creativity. In Google Classroom, all in one place, bring all your learning tools together and manage multiple classes in one central destination. Easy to use. Anyone in your school community can get up and running with Classroom in minutes. Build for collaboration. Work simultaneously in the same document with the whole class or connect face-to-face with Google Meet. Access from anywhere. Empower teaching and learning from anywhere or any device and give your class more flexibility and mobility. Google Classroom is a collaboration tools for teachers and students that help organize and streamline the classroom experience. With just a few clicks, can create a class, add your students, and create assignments or announcements. Able to see who's completed an assignment, who's still working on it, and assign grade when it's finished, instantly offer feedback to students and see their questions or comment on their assignment. Another thing in Google Workspace fundamental is the Google Drive. It's like an online hard drive where you can store all your files, stories, design, drawings, recordings, videos, anything. Can access files from any device, and best of all, you never have to save. Drive automatically save every time you make an edit. As the advantage of Google Drive, you can synchronize files across any device you have. Moreover, it comes with backup files, sharing, open and edit various types of document, including Gmail integration, and much more. Google Workspace Education, like using Google Docs, documents came to life with smart editing and styling tools to help you easily format text and paragraphs. Choose from thousands of fonts, add links, image, drawing, and table. Another thing in Google Docs is layer image above and below text in Docs. You can change the text wrapping of an image in front or text or behind text to layer image above and underneath text in Docs. Or you can position the image in your documents. Another thing, the last features last year, September 2020, they add the managed citation and bibliography in Google Docs. You can add citation and bibliography using your Google Docs. That's the thing in Google Docs. Another features of Google Docs using smart chips, as you can see. Read while presenting. You can use the @ sign, a symbol, mention people, files, and meeting already available when you use the symbol @ sign or mention a person in the document. A smart chip shows you additional information like person, location, job title, contact information. And starting now, we're introducing new smart chips in Docs for recommended files and meeting. To insert smart chips into your work simply by typing the @ symbol to see a list of recommended people, files, and meeting from web or mobile. Your collaborators can then quickly skim associated meeting and people or preview linked document, all without changing tabs or context. Smart chips will come to Sheets in the coming month. That is the new features of the Google Docs. Another thing is Pages Docs. As you can see on the as you can see on the video, these are the example of pageless documents. While new pages format in documents will be able to remove the boundaries of the page to create a surface that expands to whatever device or screen you're using, make it easier to work with wide tables, large image, or detailed feedback in comment. And if you want to print or convert to PDF, you'll be able to easily switch back to a paginated view. So as you can see, these are the example how you use the pageless document in Google Docs. Another thing is Google Sheets or spreadsheet for analyzing, visualizing, and charting data. And if you want to have a quick and easy survey to gather information, you can use the Google Forms. Work and meet directly from your doc, sheets, or slide. So as you can see, these are the example how Google Docs meet directly from Google Docs, Sheets, or Slide. These are the example how it works. You can now present your content to all Google Meet call on the web directly from the doc, Sheets, or Slide where you're already working with your team, jumping between collaborating in the document and in a live conversation without skipping a beat. Help the project and the team stay focused And in the fall, we're bringing Meet directly to docs, sheets, and slide on the web so people can actually see and hear each other while they're collaborating. So as you can see, these are the example how you use Google Docs while uh, creating Google Meet. As simple as that. Another thing is in another feature is timeline view in Google Sheet. These are the example how timeline view in Google Sheets or in spreadsheet. These are the example how it works. This is the latest features in Google Sheet. Use the new timeline view in Sheet to better manage and interact with your data. You'll be able to toggle between new views in Sheets to better manage and interact with your data. Our first launch will be on the first launch will be a timeline view that makes tracking tasks easier and faster. This flexible view allows you to organize your data by owner, category, campaign, or whichever attribute fits best. Using a dynamic interactive timeline strengthen your ability to manage things like marketing, campaign, project, milestone schedule, and cross-team collaboration. So that's the new features in Google Sheet timeline view. So if you have any project that you're going to do, use these features, new features of Google Sheet, which is the timeline view. Another thing is more assisted analysis functionality in Sheet. So as you can see, these are the example how it works. They have a formula. Use the assisted analysis functionality to help you build and troubleshoot formulas. We're also adding more assisted analysis functionality in our sheet, web experience with formula suggestion that make it easier for everyone to derive insight from data. Sheet intelligent helps you build and troubleshoot formula, making data analysis faster and reducing errors. So as you can see, this is how it works in more assisted analysis functionality in Sheets. As you can see, there are a lot of features came from this year. So another thing is Google Slide, a presentation tools that make it easy to tell stories. With Google Slide, you can create, edit, collaborate, and present wherever you are for free. Tell stories that matter. Google Slide make your ideas shine with variety of presentation, themes, hundreds of fonts, embedded video, animation, and more access. Create and edit your presentation wherever you go from your phone, tablet, or computer, even when there's no connection. Another thing is Google Drawing, graphics and flowchart creation with shapes, text, and image. Google Drawing is a virtual board that allows users to create content by drawing, pasting image, linking videos and website, and inserting text, shapes, tables, and other content into a page in Google Drive. User can create flowchart, diagram, content map, visual storyboard, original art, and more. This application is available for free of charge. Anyone with Google account user can collaboratively work on the same drawing at the same time. This means students can collaborate on the same drawing from different computer at different location. Drawing can be shared via link or embedded into a web page by selecting publish on the web in the File menu. Collaborators can edit and leave comment on the document. If you're looking for tools to help engage students and foster collaboration and creativity, this is a great tool for students to visually construct and demonstrate their knowledge. Another thing is Gmail. Email contacts, tasks, and communication. Gmail has a new look for the feature you already use, plus new ways to organize your inbox, viewing upcoming events, and take action on email. Another thing is the additional function of Google Workspace fundamental that can reuse in our teaching and learning. Also, this is the best thing that we could always use as a teacher. Google Calendar, scheduling calendar and appointment so that you won't forget anything. Calendar can quickly schedule meeting and event and get reminder about upcoming activities. You always know what's next. Calendar is designed for our team, for you as a teacher. So it's easy to share your schedule with others and create multiple calendars that you and your team can use together. That's the good thing in Google Calendar. Another thing is, this is my favorite, Google Meet, like video conferencing and messaging. Google Meet virtual meetings have been at the center of work's global transformation. This past year, long before the pandemic, they played a crucial role for distributed teams, but now they become the glue that holds the work day together for countless teams and organizations that used to share a physical workplace as a hybrid blend of virtual and person meeting become a mainstay of work life will continue to deliver innovation in Google Meet that help people have more immersive, inclusive, and productive interaction as part of the Google Workspace mission to fuel the future of work with solutions that flexible, helpful, that drives innovation. Google Meet will keep people connected across all places and ways that they work together. And another thing is that Google site, web page creation and publishing. Google site is a pre-website came from Google. CMS has many features which include HTML editor, gas editor, fuel integration with your Google Docs, calendar, and YouTube, slide, work, document. You can insert image. You can add a lot of pages if you want. You can embed, create, and develop web page and website without any coding knowledge. What you see is what you get. Another thing is the Google Groups. Group communication and web forum. New group has a more efficient streamline which make it easier for user to create and manage group. It includes the most used feature from the classic interface along with red group conversation and write message and consolidate setting for improved navigation. Another thing is we can use the Chrome. This Chrome is internet browsing and YouTube, online video hosting and sharing, Google Maps, Earth Interactive Maps, and satellite imagery. Selecting the right tools, there are two factors to consider. When choosing technology for the classroom, your learning goals and your basic understanding of what each Google tools can do, your learning goal will really be learn how to use the technology. It is more likely to be something like identify the elements of the periodic table or present research finding. The second factor for choosing the right technology is that you need a good grasp of the basic things particular tools can do. Once you have this two things, the learning goals and basic knowledge, you can choose the right tool for the task. The good news is that once you know the basic, you'll think of other creative ways to use a particular tools. Using Google Chrome or Google Chrome introduce new features on Chrome for an improved browsing experience, including easier tab access and management and faster tab loading. The new tab groups features allows people to create groups for tab by simply right-clicking on the tab script. That's the new features in Google Chrome. YouTube. YouTube is a set of unveiled new YouTube features and improved tools aimed at making the user and creator experience even more enjoyable and beneficial. These improvements out over the course of the rest of this year. Another thing is the Google Maps. Map is getting various new features at the same update were announced at ongoing this year. So include more detailed street maps, expansion to the existing live view features, and better navigational routes with the help of machine learning. So these tools can help us to grow more like Chrome. You need to search a lot of things, a lot of information that you can help as a teacher. And also, if you don't know anything, you can go to the YouTube. You can find anything that you wanted to learn. Another thing is what I like is when you're driving, you can use Google Map, or you can use this if you don't know where you can go. You can use this features to help you find ways to make easier for you. That's the Google Workspace for education, another tool outside. So now we're going to focus on getting prepared for integrating technology into our classes. Since we know the Google Workspace for Education fundamentals, now we are ready to prepare how to integrate the technology into our class. How technology can benefit teaching and learning, why and how technology can support the work you currently do, how can you use technology to prepare for the future, what tools are available in the Google Workspace for Education fundamentals, how to pick the right tools for your objective, how can you help your students behave responsibly online. So explore the benefits of the digital classroom and encourage 21st century work habits. There are many technologies that can help teachers streamline daily process and increase opportunities to incorporate critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity into students' learning. How about if we talk the impact of technology? As a teacher, we need to think about the impact of technology on our life or in your life. Below are the few questions to get you thinking. You may want to jot down your ideas. At the end of this session, we'll reflect and set a goal. Are you ready? How has technology affected your life? Identify one way technology has saved you time and made you more efficient. What are other teachers doing with technology in the classroom and you'd like to try? That is exciting. Now, we're going to discuss the impact of technology. Smartphones have made a huge impact for me and also you, dear teacher. I can process email or work on a presentation while standing in line at the grocery store. Of course, teacher, all of us, we are very busy doing anything and we are always multitask. I take advantage of podcasts, so now I'm even learning when I'm working out. Google Maps have changed the way I see the world. I've gone house hunting using Street View. I can teach myself anything with technology. Right now, I'm learning how to play the ukulele by watching how to videos on YouTube. That's great. Identify one way technology has saved you time and made you more efficient. I use tasks on my phone and on my laptop. I'm never without my to-do list. So I'm getting more things more than I used to. Organizing team meeting is easier now that I can co-create our agenda on a Google Doc instead of one person needing to contact everyone individual to create an agenda. I used to have to write letters to people. Emails saved me so much time. I use the camera on my phone to quickly shoot a photo on my whiteboard after class. I uploaded it our class site to keep any absent students in the loop. Wow, this is how we identify that technology that save us as a teacher to make our time more efficient. So another thing is what are other teacher doing with technology in the classroom that you'd like to try? So my teaching partner uses Google Drawing to make manipulative and sorting activities for her students. The 8th grade English teachers are all Google Docs to give students formative feedback on their writing before the student must turn in. A colleague of mine has students plot their learning about ancient Egypt on the Google map instead of using paper and colored pencils. I've seen a jigsaw activity where students were responsible for different parts of a chapter and recorded the main points in the shared Google slide presentation. It is surprising that technology has so many educational benefits increase about motivation and differentiation to global connectivity and college and career readiness. It also helps teacher improve organization, master classroom management, and streamline lesson planning. Jump on the technology train if you haven't already. It's sure to be worth the ride. Gee. So, teaching digital citizenship equips students with the knowledge, skills, and resources to succeed a lifetime learner. This also helps them learn to engage within the digital environment with responsibility and confidence to develop as leaders who will leave meaningfully impact to the lives. As teacher, we value a good citizenship in the classroom and school community. But today, students need to be good citizens in the digital world as well. Their digital behavior has a big impact on themselves and others, and what makes good or bad digital citizenship may not always be clear. Now, let's talk about how to be create, safe, responsible digital citizenship. For the purpose of this session, we'll focus on respect and protect two foundational components of good citizenship. We'll also look at three pillars of digital responsibility. One is copyright and fair use, online safety, communication. Digital citizenship is a topic that we need to address more carefully and thoroughly in our school. Some schools are quite experienced at integrating digital citizenship into their classes. Others are just starting out. In all cases, there is a room for improvement. As we talk about digital citizenship, it refers to responsible technology usage, and teaching digital citizenship is essential to help students achieve understand digital as well as ensuring cyberbully prevention, online safety, digital responsibility, and digital health. At the school level, policies and procedure and the and a defined digital citizenship curriculum can help guide you in the classroom. This help make students aware of what they should and shouldn't be doing with the goal of keeping themselves safe online. However, it's not always possible for us to fully protect students. What happens when they are due into trouble? Teaching students how to cope up in this situation is something that every teacher can do in their classroom. You can foster open and honest conversation to build resilience and teach strategies for getting help and support. Effective adding digital citizenship to a child education requires integration and very from the very beginning. To do this, schools from elementary through high school need to cooperate with each other. Principal, staff,
Thank you so much, Ms. Rowena A. Reyes, for imparting to us the different programs and the different things that we can do using Google Fundamentals, Google Workspace Fundamentals. And now for our participants to evaluate your talk, we are now showing on your screen the QR code and then the link that you can use to evaluate Miss Reyes, Miss Reyes's talk. All right. So I believe that many of us are familiar with Google already, but Miss Reyes provided to us comprehensive procedures, comprehensive ways how we can harness the use of Google products. We will also be showing again the QR codes and then the links for our speakers during the AM session. Here it is. For our first speaker, Ms. Magdalena Brzezinska, for her talk, Don't Just Survive, Thrive as an Online Instructor. For our second speaker, we have Sir Mark Anthony F. Hamisal for his talk, Ipilay, DepEd Online. For our third speaker, we have Miss Aprilyn B. Marquez for her talk about DepEd Commons. I know you are wondering where is the link and QR code for my talk a while ago. I think that will be presented later this afternoon or tomorrow. But we will be still posting the link and the QR code for my presentation. Definitely, I would love to hear from you, our dear participants. So I will not push any further. We will have our second speaker for today. And for our second speaker, I know you are already familiar with ALS or Alternative Learning System, and I am very humbled to present this man who showed much hard work for ALS to be developed in our country. Sir Los Santos had 11 years of teaching experience in a private school and had been a head teacher of the music, arts, PE, and health department. He is a module writer, lecturer, and resource speaker in various training workshops and is one of the pioneer National Open Educational Resources or OER core leaders in the country. Prior to his detailed assignment at the central office, he is a faculty member of Las Piñas City National Senior High School CAA campus from the school's division office of Las Piñas City. He joined as an EdTech specialist of the Information and Communications Technology Service Educational Technology Unit at the DepEd Central Office in 2020. He is a Microsoft Innovative Educator, Microsoft Education Ambassador, and a Google Certified Educator. He shares his expertise in information and communications technology as EdTech specialist who contributed to the Open Education Resources, or OER, DepEd Commons, DepEd Learning Management System, DepEd TV, and DepEd Online DepEd Itulay. He is one of the first teacher broadcasters of the DepEd TV, an associate producer, and one of the DepEd Online Itulay tutors. He has been a panelist in 2021 EdTech Philippines. He is one of the first teacher. He is also a member of the international committees like the International Organization of Health, Sports, and Kinesiology and T for World Education Week, and they have made him to be confident in sharing his knowledge and skills to other teachers. A scholar of Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila in 2005, he took he took a bachelor in physical education. He has also earned units for his master's degree in education, major in physical education. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Sir Ariel de los Santos for Alternative Learning System, or ALS EdTech Empowerment.
Good day, everyone. Today, my task is to give you insights about the ICTS-EdTech Unit's initiative for EdTech Empowerment Program, specifically to ALS teachers. Again, I am Mr. Ariel de los Santos, the project lead for EdTech Empowerment for ALS, one of the EdTech specialists. All right, this afternoon, the core parts of my discussion will be the DepEd Alternative Learning System. We'll be talking about some of the questions or basic questions regarding the DepEd Alternative Learning System, the functions and responsibilities of DepEd ICTS-EdTech Unit, and I'll give you an update with our concluded EdTech Empowerment Training. And what are the future plans for EdTech Empowerment Program for our ALS, for Alternative Learning System? Let me begin with some of the frequently asked questions. I got this from our DepEd website. Okay, so let's start with this question. What is Alternative Learning System? The Alternative Learning System, or ALS, is a parallel learning system in the Philippines that provides opportunities for out-of-school youth and adult learners to develop basic and functional literacy skills to access equivalent pathways to complete basic education. A viable alternative to existing formal education system, ALS encompasses both non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skills. As a second chance education program, it aims to empower out-of-school youth and adult learners to continue learning in a manner, time, and place suitable to their preference and circumstances, and for them to achieve their goals of improving their quality of life and becoming productive contributors to society. As you can see in our image, we have from ALS Lanao del Sur 1 with their teacher Miss Ayn Panolong Macud, and from ALS Baco District Oriental Mindoro with their teacher Mr. Dominic Ocampo. The second question might be, who are the target learners in the alternative learning system? As defined in the new ALS Act, or the RA 11510, they are the adults, Filipinos age 18 years old and above, who are not able to begin or continue basic elementary or secondary education in formal school. Out-of-school children, in special cases, these are children in the official school age who are not enrolled in elementary or secondary school due to special cases such as economic, geographic, political, cultural, or social barriers, including learners with disabilities or conditions, indigenous peoples, children in conflict with the law, learners in emergency situations, and other marginalized sectors. We have here in our image or in our pictures from Las Piñas City National Senior High School CAA campus. They are the secondary level learners with their teacher, Miss Gail Cipriano. And I have here a picture of Inang, a 65-year-old Mangyan, a member of IP or Indigenous Peoples, Mangyan Alangan. She is a basic literacy learner from Mindoro. And we also have here the persons derived of liberty from Bawang North District with their teacher, Mrs. Ruth Padua Dadalsi from the Bawang North District. Another question is, where are ALS classes conducted? Learning sessions may be conducted at any place or space referred to as Community Learning Center or CLCs, which is convenient to learners or convenient to the learners. A CLC is a physical space to house learning resources and facilities of a learning program for out-of-school children, special cases, and adults. And it is a venue for face-to-face learning activities and other learning opportunities for community development and improvement of people's quality of life. The CLCs are categorized into 5 types. Let's begin with type 1. Type 1 is simple. Makeshift or temporary meeting place, example, the chapel or any open multipurpose area, temporarily lent for learning purposes by the barangay or any private property with tables, charts, and chalkboard. Type 2 is a semi-concrete structure mostly made of light materials such as nipa, softwood, and etc. Dedicated to ALS learning sessions and related activities and equipped with basic furniture and appliances like electric fan and learning equipment. Type 3 Type 3 is a typical barangay learning center, secured and mostly made of cement and other concrete materials, dedicated to ALS learning sessions and related activities, and equipped with basic furniture and learning equipment such as chairs, tables, chalkboard, library, corner, cassette recorder, and basic appliances, again, like electric fan. For type 4, a 2-story or 3-story building fully equipped with basic furniture and advanced ICT equipment for learning, dedicated to ALS learners for their sessions and related activities. And for type 5, it is a permanent building equipped with ALS learning materials and other learning resources are being utilized by learners and other members of the community. The materials are either being transported from house to house or borrowed by interested community members from the CLC for literacy and continuing education. This is a good example of a CLC from ALS Nagcarlan. They have the CLC for senior citizen. Right. So this is one of the best things in ALS Nagcarlan. Now, who are the teachers in alternative learning system? Again, as defined in the new ALS Act, they are ALS teachers, DepEd employed teachers who implement the ALS program. They are also the community ALS implementors, persons engaged either by DepEd or any local government unit to deliver ALS programs to out-of-school children and adults, learning facilitators, teachers financed by private NGOs, CSOs, or individuals who implement alternative learning system programs. Ayan. So, here is Mrs. Ruth Padua, District ALS Coordinator from ALS Bawang North District from SDO La Union. And Mrs. Geraldine F. Mangdikmon, a mobile teacher from ALS San Narciso District, Zambales. She's with the students, right? As you can see on the left picture, she's taking care of the baby of her student, and on the right side is a 75-year-old ALS passer. Very proud teacher, Ma'am Geraldine Mangrikmon. And another example is Mr. Dominic Ocampo. Look at this. He climbed this, he walked this path going to a community in Mindoro. Mr. Dominic Ocampo is a mobile teacher from Als Bacod District. And I'd like to show you a video that was sent to me by Mr. Dominic Ocampo. Let's watch this. This is Mr. Dominic Ocampo with his buddy Raniel and a pet dog Calo when they distribute modules in the community learning center called Kamalig. All right, Mr. Dominic Ocampo is just one of the many teachers in ALS that do this or that experience these challenges in just delivering the learning for alternative learning system. The type of learners and the kind of teachers we have in ALS inspired us in producing this kind of program. We will make sure that there will be no teachers left behind when it comes to educational technology. This is the ICTS-EdTech unit, and this is our role. The nature of education evolved from its traditional format of instruction. With the rise of technology and the development of learning tools, which generally dictates the future direction of industry and future jobs, the ETU or the Educational Technology Unit is created to be the link between the curriculum and ICT that will focus on bridging the gap to further understand the complexities of the emerging pedagogy and blending the perfect technology to make the teaching and learning process effective. The Educational Technology Unit will be instrumental in making a fast-paced deliverable to support the digitization and mobilization of instructional learning materials in the Department of Education. Likewise, it is the key element to support the alternative ICT programs in a form of open educational resources to augment deliverables of supplemental lessons related to the RRM, health and wellness, youth formation, inclusive education, learners with special needs, and of course, the alternative learning system and other special programs. Now, let us talk about the functions and responsibilities of the EdTech unit. The first is educational technology design and innovation development. ETU shall provide accessibility by designing educational platforms, applications, devices, materials, and environments that support and enable access to content and educational activities for all types of learners and enhance the educational technology skills of teachers. The second is the training and capacity building program. We are also mandated to enable and monitor the effective use of technology infrastructure on a nationwide scale by conducting capacity building programs and change the transformation perspective with emerging technologies, open educational resources, and digital contents to support the requirements of the K-12 curriculum. Third is the ICT innovation research, monitoring, and evaluation. We are here also to support our fellow educators by conducting ICT innovation, research, review, and evaluation on a nationwide scale relative with the rapid advancement of technology to make them prepared for new learning experiences that can inspire and empower to provide more effective teaching for all learners. Now let's move on with the recently concluded EdTech Empowerment Training Program. I'm very proud and happy to give you these updates. With the task given by our unit, we immediately initiated a capacity training program for all ALS teachers with strong partnership with the ALS Task Force, which is now the Bureau of Alternative Learning System. A memo was released for the different projects for the ALS EdTech Empowerment Program. And we started with this one. This was the very first training for ALS teacher, which was attended by 4,707 participants nationwide. And this is for open educational resources. It is a 2-day webinar training for alternative learning system. So here are the photos of our ALS teachers. It was taken from my Padlet. They actually use Padlet. They now know how to use Padlet, or most of them are using Padlet. We have SDO Zambo Zibugay. We have ALS mobile teacher from Karkar City Division. As you can see, the same with the division of Bukidnon, Cluster 1. They all watched together during that time of our training. We also have from Region 11, Apayao, even in the mountainous provinces, they attended, and some EPSA and other bosses, no, they attended also. They attended the training with their ALS teachers. 2 months after the webinar series for the open educational resources, a series of training workshops were conducted for Google for Education, Microsoft for Education, video creation, and ebook development using Kotobi. Another memo was released for this training series. Again, we have the Google Apps for Education, right? Our speaker was Mr. Sherwin Lumeda, the EdTech specialist and a Google certified educator. We also have Microsoft for Education, where it was presented by Mr. Mark Anthony Hamisal and Dr. Rubilin Pasrano, who are experts of the Microsoft and also EdTech specialists. We had the creation of video lesson using PowerPoint, presented by, again, Dr. Rubilin of the EdTech unit and Mr. Arvin Key Nagano. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir Arvin, if you're watching, from SDO Nueva Ecija, he headed the creation of the video lesson using Filmora. And the last part of the training was the ebook development. Okay, it was presented by Mr. Sherwin Lomeda. And this 4-day webinar series were attended by 8,515 ALS teachers. After the training, some ALS teachers were sending messages of thanks, saying that they are now also sharing the skills to other teachers. And I'm glad, the ETU is very glad to have this. Miss Ruth Padua, Dalcy of the Bawang North District, presenting the OER during the district in-service training. I think this is an evidence of an empowered teacher. And we are sure that there are more teachers who did this, who shared what they have learned the skills that they got from our training. They shared it to their co-teachers, and we're very proud of you. We are doing our best to improve our training program, and as teachers, voices matter. We ask for their suggestions and skills that they need. Here are their answers. We actually ask for evaluation for our events, and some of the suggestions were making QR codes for enrollment and monitoring evaluation, troubleshooting for printers and computer, Canva app, creating of ALS learners portfolio online, exploring NODMA application for science, voice modulation and presentation, creating materials using Scratch animation, cartoon story making and virtual reality using the Miracast application, the use of Photoshop, how to create my own website or with the use of Google Sites, basic desktop laptop printer troubleshooting, more Microsoft program or apps, and robotics. We are also doing our best to improve our training program, and as teachers' voices matter, as what I have said. So these are the results of their suggestion or our evaluation, and we're taking note of this for our ALS teachers. Just wait for our announcement of the series of training again. Part of the ALS EdTech Empowerment Program is the provision of supplementary platforms like DepEd TV, DepEd Online, or Itulay. So in DepEd Itulay, we were able to discuss all the modules already. For mobile Itulay, I have personally visited Real Quezon, a learning center in Real Quezon. Some of them are studying at the seashore or beside the seashore using the Nipahat, and most of them are getting signals. They need to climb up in a mountain so to get signals and study there. I got a chance also to meet us teachers from Mindoro, La Union, Sarangani, from Las Piñas, Davao, and Nagcarlan. For our Itulay, I'd like to invite you to watch, and again, I'm promoting Itulay online tutorial for alternative learning system every Monday. We have the ALS for Learning Strand 1. We have Tutor LJ and Binibining Lens or Miss Lens. For English, we have Tutor Noreen. For Science Elementary, we have Tutor Marjorie and Tutor JR from Las Piñas. And for high school, we have Tutor Efren for Science Secondary, rather. And for Mathematics Elementary, we have Tutor Sherwin, our EdTech specialist. And now he's with Ma'am Charlene Derequito. For our secondary math, we have Ma'am Celeste Teruñez and Tutor Yani. For learning strand number 5, understanding self and society, we have Tutor Gilbert. And also from us learning strand number 6, we have Sir Robbie. And we have here my time, the mobile Itulay. All right. So that is our schedule for Itulay for online tutorial. That's free. That's free. Again, ALS learning is free. All right. So this is also an appeal to support our DepEd TV episodes for ALS. We have Ma'am Roslyn Carol C. Pendor, and Sir Peter Mauro Del Valle, both from Camarines Sur. They have a very good presentation of ALS materials, all right, ALS lessons using the television. They are very great teacher broadcasters. So now, what are the future plans for EdTech empowerment program for our alternative learning system. First is laptop and other devices for all ALS teachers. All right? And then we are also having more capacity building programs and certification programs for ALS teachers like Google, Microsoft, Adobe, and more. I think that's the last part of my discussion. But to end this, let me end my talk with this proverb: give a man a fish, and he will eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. And I think that's empowerment. Thank you so much.
The Department of Education, through the Office of Undersecretary for Administration, DepEd OUA, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology, ICTS-EdTech, invites you to join its first ever international multidisciplinary webinar series in collaboration with the Global Educators Network Association of Teachers of English as a Foreign Language, GENTEFL, Thailand. This 3-day webinar series will gather experts and specialists from different areas of study and from all parts of the globe to equip and empower educators in their areas of specialization, integrated through educational technology. This event is a convergence of resource speakers and expertise to further teachers' ability to answer the challenges of these changing times through topics with educational technology integration. Be updated and save this following days. Solo Educalidad.
For sharing with Thank you so much, Sir Ariel, for sharing with us the projects and the programs for alternative learning systems. And again, every 5 p.m. from Mondays to Fridays is ALS time.
Yes, and also we would like to say thank you to Sir Ariel de los Santos again, one of our EdTech specialists. Of course, proud to be Las Piñeros from Las Piñas. Congratulations, Sir Ariel. Thank you very much. And another reminder for our teachers, we will be opening again the link on how you're going to have your attendance from day 1 to day 2. So we're going to open that one until 11:59 this evening. Again, until 11:59 this evening only. So for day 3, we're not going to open anymore the attendance for day 1, day 2, and day 3. For those teachers who wasn't able to register and fill out the attendance form during the day 1, this is your chance and your last opportunity to do it.
Yes, and that's a good news to our participants because we read your comments and we realize that there are so many teachers who really want to register for day 1 but weren't able to do so because there might be connectivity issues, there might be also busy yesterday. So again, we are opening the link for day 1. You can register, but partner, again, like what you said, we will not have an extension for day 2 and day 3 anymore, only for day 1 because of popular demand.
Yes, so maybe request to have the links posted in our screen so that the teachers will be able to take a screenshot of it.
All right. I think we
Okay.
have now the link and the QR code for day 2. And our participant can still use the QR code or the link for day 1's registration that we posted yesterday.
Okay. So while we are waiting for that, maybe we can proceed to our next speaker, and we're just going to keep it posted while the webinar is ongoing.
Okay. So if we had Google Workspace Fundamentals and else, we will now proceed to knowing how to be a role model in business and going global. But before that, we will now move on, or we will now show the evaluation links.
Yes. So again, teachers, here are the evaluation links on how you're going to evaluate our speaker for this afternoon, Sir Ariel de los Santos, one of our EdTech specialists, and his topic is about alternative learning system or ALS EdTech empowerment.
I'm sure our participants knew a lot of things about ALS. And ALS is really helpful for our out of school youth and those who really want to finish their education. Finally, there's an answer to their problem thanks to ALS.
Okay, so thank you very much. So how about the attendance? Are we going to post it now?
I think
Okay.
it's ready.
Yes, it's ready. And please be reminded of our hashtag. So hashtag EDUX 2021 Day 2.
Okay, so the link that you can see on your screen is the link that you will use for the day two registration. Oh, that's day one.
Day 1 attendance. Okay.
Again, that is open until
11:59.
And there
Okay.
is no extension anymore for day two and three. Now we are to present the registration link for day two. There you go. Again, teachers, please screenshot and share among your fellow teachers so they will not miss out on the registration link for day two. Because again, partner,
So this is valid until 11:59 this evening only.
and there will be no extension for day two and day three, only for day one because of because of the popular demand.
Yes, so for tomorrow, since it's our last day, we're only going to give you the registration for the attendance for day 3 only.
Okay, so I hope that is clear.
Yes. Okay, so let's now proceed to our next speaker. So partner, can you please introduce our next speaker?
Okay, our next speaker is from Istanbul, Turkey. Wow. And his topic is how to be a role model in business and going global. So I think we have discussed so many things about education. Why not we delve into business managers and entrepreneurship? Here is Anil Dimish.
Hello, everyone, dear audiences. My name is Anil Demir. Greetings from Turkey. Firstly, I would like to thank to Department of Education and Global Educators Network, TEFL, to invite me this session. I would like to tell about my experiences and hope you will enjoy it. So let's get started with my presentation. So how to be a role model in business and going global. As mentioned, my name is Anil Demir. I'm a mentor, global networker, and aviation expert. So a little bit about myself in the starting point. Currently, I'm working in Singapore Airlines, Istanbul office, as corporate account manager. So I'm enjoying my career on sales, marketing, and business channel development all the time, and also aviation industry as well. I also had strategic planning 4 years experience in the past in a glassware company. So I'm keen on strategy, business plans, feasibility, investment, and corporate projects. And I was a frequent traveler before COVID situation and already visited 27 countries with 72 cities around the world. I already visited Philippines 3 times and I love Philippines. Hope I will continue to visit your beautiful country in the coming months after COVID situation in safe days. And I enjoy mobility, networking, business, culture, tourism all the time. I love connecting people. I always look for new ways to develop projects and increase market penetration in my professional life. So I'm so keen on blue ocean strategy in my professional life all the time. And also I have continuous learning principles. I have already completed 169 LinkedIn learning courses. I'm also mentoring university students. I was graduated from Istanbul Technical University and GENTEFL University in master degree and bachelor degree in Istanbul Technical University. And I love to having mentoring sessions with university students, and I will tell about it. And I also having great interest in Asian lifestyle, culture. Already visited many Asian countries. As mentioned, Philippines is my favorite country in Asia Pacific. I'm an entrepreneur, public speaker, global debater. I love debating sessions as well. And also I organize Turkey Connecting Business Asia events in Asia Pacific, and I will tell more about this project in the coming slides. I'm a LinkedIn influencer. I have 20,000 followers in LinkedIn and posting news all the time. I will also tell about it in my presentation. And also I'm an active JCI member. I have just completed my leadership. And now even the past president. That's a good also platform for networking. I also suggest you to join JCI as well. So let's get started. My LinkedIn profile. You can add me on LinkedIn anytime. There's no issue. I have a strong network in LinkedIn. As you see, I have more than 20,000 followers on LinkedIn, and I'm always posting something about myself, aviation world, mentoring, and global networking. You will see the sites of that in the coming slides. And you see, I'm also joining some aviation sessions. Recently, I joined 2 ones. I would like to share them with you. I'm really enjoying it, joining aviation sessions. Today, I'm so glad to be here with you. Thanks for your invitation. Hopefully, you will also enjoy this session with me. And the other ones, I also joined leadership and global networking sessions, and one was from Philippines as well. The other one was from Latin America. That's also very nice for me. I always like to join that kind of sessions. So let's get started how I became an Asia Pacific aviation expert and business developer here. Firstly, I always tracking progress on aviation world and posting it on LinkedIn to connect to related people around the world, to let them learn about the progress. As I have a huge network, many of the people are following me for the aviation world on LinkedIn. And I try to check out the progress on aviation world and try to share them with them like this. As you see here, there's a specific information about IATA travel pass. That's very important for aviation world, so I posted it. And secondly, you see there are sometimes changing conditions for countries for passports. As I'm working in Singapore Airlines and focused on Singapore, I also tell about Singapore, the development of tourism, traveling all the time. So this is another kind of sharing recently on LinkedIn about this. And I also like to check out what's happening in Asia Pacific in terms of investment and trades, the successes of companies, the successes of countries as well. Here you see recently, we heard that China has a huge GDP growth, and Grab also have some successes. So I tried to post them. So how do I find these informations? So why do I share them? Let's check out what's happening in here. Firstly, I try to keep myself updated, following aviation newsletters every day, every second. I'm checking out my emails and try to assess whether it is well qualified for me. And secondly, following Asia Pacific newsletters, newspapers every day. As a newsletter, as an email, I check out and try to understand what's going on Asia Pacific and try to pick the most important news from there, and checking down with market conditions as well in Turkey and in the world, in Asia Pacific with my network, and sharing them on social media to create more impact and connect more people concerning these developments. So what are my sources? I think it's one of the most important pages in here. I'm following up as aviation newsletter as 1 mile at a time, Blue Swan Daily, Condé Nast Traveler. Condé Nast Traveler is a bit tourism oriented. Blue Swan, a kind of analysis about aviation industry, and 1 mile is a kind of commentary and analysis about the aviation world and simplifying mostly aviation news. The Point Sky, especially very successful newsletter as well, and Main Miles about the recent progress, especially about Singapore and Singapore Airlines. We check it out. Travel of Path around the world, what's happening in the tourism industry. Skift, the same as well. Breaking Travel News, one of my favorites. As mentioned, Breaking Travel, news, the last minute news are given there, and I learn much from that. And Aviation Voice is another strong newsletter in here. Destination Magazine and Airport Transport are the other ones that I focus. So every day I get around at least 100 newsletters and checked out one by one. Whether there's something specific that I can learn and I can share, I can develop myself, I can discuss. That's the way I do. So I currently suggest you to focus on your expertise, learn from newsletters, having a progress, and share with your network. That's what I do all the time. And you see, these are the examples of aviation newsletters in here. Simply Flying, Point Sky, Condé Nast Traveler, and here, Main the Miles. Every day I check out and read all of them to understand what's going on. And Asia Pacific newsletters. Even though I'm living in Turkey, I'm strongly keen on Asia Pacific and always reading newsletters of Asia Pacific every day, especially Straits Times. I really appreciate well-qualified newsletter, and you can always learn about Singapore and all the rest of Asia Pacific by this way. And Business Times, the same. For the business, is really important. CNA, very, very strong and very powerful in Asia Pacific. I learned much from CNA. And Free Malaysia from Malaysia, Bangkok Post and Phuket News from Thailand. InquireNet, you can be very familiar. It's from your country. I check out and learn more from your country. Inquire. Balisan and Jakarta Post from Indonesia, and South China Morning from Hong Kong. These are my scope generally, and I try to develop these sources accordingly. I learn from my colleagues and friends. So according to their suggestion, I update these lists all the time. And you see here the newsletters from Straits Times, Inquire.com, Free Malaysia, and Bangkok Post. Every day I read them. So we are coming to the second part of my presentation now, mentoring university students. That is one of my best hobby, and also I'm so happy to do that, and I also suggest you to do that. So what do we do while mentoring students? As mentioned, I was graduated in ITU, Istanbul Technical University, as bachelor degree, and also GENTEFL University as master degree. So I tried to pay back my universities, collaborating with the alumni associations and also career centers in the universities. They assigned me mentees, and I also have monthly sessions with my mentees. Sometimes I have one mentee, sometimes I have 3 mentees assigned. So accordingly who they assign, I focused on the students and try to tell about my experiences in here, mentoring sessions. Before COVID situation, we had physical meetings each month. 2 of them in the left are from Istanbul Technical University, and one in the right from GENTEFL University. I have been doing it almost 5 years and enjoying much. So let's get through more. After COVID situation, unfortunately, we could not come together with my mentees, so we organized it online. And I also started to support one more mentoring program from JCI, as you see on the left side, and on the right side, as regular, we are having a mentoring session with my mentee from Istanbul Technical University. So what do we talk with mentors? How to mentor students? I would like to tell about this part now. Firstly, telling about my experiences, starting points. First meeting, I tell about all my past experiences, where I came from and where I'm going, with the vision and also with the insights. Sometimes failures, telling about my failures and how I get the lessons from these failures as well. Secondly, I'm a sales executive, account manager. So I'm telling you about sales and marketing, how it works in the company. As when you are a university student, you cannot know the dynamics of sales and marketing. But if a professional tells about sales and marketing after experiences, that's very valuable for students. So telling you about this. And thirdly, aviation and Asia Pacific experiences and traveling. As mentioned, I was a frequent traveler. So talking about my traveling experiences and also my aviation experiences as newsletters, research, and also Singapore Airlines. And fourthly, daily cases, results and lessons to learn, each time I'm also in progress with my life, with my professional life. So telling about daily cases and how I learned from the cases, that's also very beneficial for mentors. So that's a kind of learning process for me as well, discussing my situation with them as well and rethinking of my situation. So this is a kind of two-way learning for me, and I really enjoy mentoring. So we are coming to the last part of my presentation and the most interesting part maybe, Turkey connecting business Asia and business matching. Let's talk on that. Firstly, as mentioned, I really like Asia Pacific culture, lifestyle, and hopefully one day I would like to relocate to Singapore or Asia Pacific countries because I really think that I can be very happy there. So I started to have more traveling to Asia Pacific countries after I started to work in Singapore Airlines. And during my visits, I realized that I can also add more value to that because I had a huge global network. I had almost local friends in all Asia Pacific countries. So I restarted to think and thought that I could organize business events in Asia Pacific. And also I could help Turkish companies to promote their businesses in Asia Pacific if they are not existing there. So from starting this point, we started a project called Turkey Connecting Business Asia. This project was intending business, trade, and investment relations between Turkey and Asia Pacific countries. And the first one was organized in Vietnam. It can be interesting for you. I had a leisure trip to Vietnam. We collaborated with friends from Vietnam and we organized the first event in Da Nang, Vietnam, Turkey Connecting Business Asia. We talk about Turkish economy. We talk about how we can develop business relations between Turkey and Vietnam. Here you see. Secondly, I was invited to Indonesia, Bali from my friends. So it was really interesting for me because we also developed the process more. This time we would talk about Turkish economy, the trade data between Turkey and Indonesia, highlighting the opportunities in the trade data. I think it was really interesting for our friends in Indonesia as well. And thirdly, talking about the opportunities between countries and also talking about Turkey tourism. The Istanbul airport was very new that time. I was promoting Istanbul airport as well. And also how to facilitate the collaboration between two countries, the visa conditions, trading conditions, custom taxes, and so on. It was interesting for them. So I really enjoyed it as well. Turkey connecting business Indonesia. We also told about the companies which have already businesses in Indonesia. And this time we started to promote companies which would like to penetrate Indonesia. So we could not carry them to Indonesia to come with us to promote their businesses, but we got their company informations and we promoted it during the presentation in order to find a collaboration partner in Indonesia. For that reason, it was a kind of great development for us and we really enjoyed it during the session. And next time we were in Philippines, Cagayan de Oro. And that was one of the best memories for me and best surprise at the airport. There was a poster open for me, for my name, with my photo. And thanks to my friends in Philippines, they welcomed me very well, always, all the time. Philippines is always great in hosting people in socially and business. So that was a really remarkable event for me. So we organized Turkey Connecting Business Philippines, and we also go through this same structure we did in Indonesia. As you see, discuss business opportunities between Turkey and Philippines, Turkish companies looking for opportunities in Philippines, Turkey economy, foreign trade between Turkey and Philippines, import and export data analysis. So it was really interesting event, and we tried to do more for the collaboration between Turkey and Philippines here. And later, it was another interesting thing for me. And this time, the flyer is prepared in two languages, English and also Chinese. And it was so amazing for me. I was so honored to be prepared that kind of flyer. This flyer is also organized by our friends in Taiwan, Taipei, and we organized Turkey Connecting Business Taiwan here. We connected our friends in here. It was really excellent experience for me as well. It was my first time in Taipei, and I could be a speaker and telling about Turkish economy, data analysis again, Turkish companies investing in Taiwan and would like to invest in Taiwan, and also looking for opportunities on both sides. That was a really great experience for me again. And then in 2020, we would continue to do that in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in Malaysia. That were our priority, three countries. But suddenly, COVID situation started. But it's no worries again, because we started to organize some digital brands and projects afterwards, starting with Road to Twinning, connecting globally all around the world, not only Asia Pacific, but also all around the world. In 1 year, we organized 28 new meetings with all parts of the world, Asia Pacific, Europe, Africa, and Latin America, and get to know each other with friends around the world. And Turkey Connecting Business Asia could combine this Road to Twinning, and we could also organize one more thing, globalpreneurship. As you see, previously, I invited companies to come with me to Asia Pacific to promote their businesses, but in a way, they could not come to Asia Pacific. So I promoted their businesses on myself in Asia Pacific physically. But now, as it is COVID situation, as we are going digital, we can offer them a solution, a simple solution to them to promote their businesses to Asia Pacific potential business people on Zoom, on meetings such that. So we started globalpreneurship to let companies promote their businesses online. That was our new project as Turkey Connecting Business Asia. So we started again, Turkey Connecting Business Malaysia, Turkey Connecting Business Philippines, and Turkey Connecting Business Indonesia. So what we did in here, firstly, we tried to consider 10 companies on each side. 10 companies from Turkey, 10 companies from Malaysia. Each companies would promote their businesses in 3 minutes. And then afterwards, there'll be a short Q&A session in order to find collaboration partners. That was very inspiring for Asia Pacific and Turkish companies. There was no guest speaker. There was no webinar seminar. These are just for companies which would like to promote their businesses and trying to find a collaboration partner on the other side. So that was an amazing opportunity for the companies on behalf of their companies, sales executives, business development directors started to promote their businesses on our event virtually on Zoom. And we started with Malaysia, and then Philippines, and then Indonesia. So I would like to show you some interesting screenshots in here. These are not only JSI members. These are some of the biggest companies in Turkey. For example, Dorce is a construction company, one of the biggest in Asia, told about their experiences and also how they look for opportunities there. Tütaş, the market leader in milk and milk products in Turkey, they don't penetrate in Asia Pacific. In Malaysia yet, they are looking for distributor partner in here. Another big company, Big Chefs, a restaurant chain in Turkey, well-known and premium brand in Turkey, also promote their businesses in order to find a franchise opportunity in Malaysia. And lately, Östiyakiler is one of the biggest exporters of Turkey, the 7th biggest exporters of Turkey. They are already penetrating some markets in Asia Pacific, but no penetration in Malaysia. So they are looking for partners in here. That was so honorable for us. Even the biggest companies in Turkey, if they didn't have any penetration in Asia Pacific, join our network quickly. And we didn't have any ads for that. That was a just, kind of networking opportunity for us. The companies which already joined our network try to tell about their network, whether they join or not. They invited the biggest companies to our network. And quickly, we had a list of around 30 biggest companies of Turkey and started to promote their businesses. That was very honorable for me. That was maybe a bit more success than physical events for me, because that was really actually a business matching event. And as you see on the other side, Asian companies also having very interest to our project from Malaysia, from Indonesia, from Philippines. There were 30 companies joining our network to promote their businesses in order to find a collaboration partner in Turkey. That was also very honorable for us, and we will continue that in the coming months. And we also organize it with Europe as well. Here, we organize it with JCI Belgium, Turkey Connecting Business Belgium, we can say. And there is also a global entrepreneurship event between Turkey and Russia. And the same structure as well, 3 minutes presentation period for each company to promote their businesses in order to find a collaboration partner. So, in the end, what we did in here, I would like to tell about more about it. Firstly, we offered a global network to Turkish companies. That's very valuable for them because in Asia Pacific, especially, they didn't have a penetration. So we will continue to help them more. In the coming days, I will offer them unique solutions to find a collaboration partner. I started to talk with business platforms in Asia Pacific and started to have some collaborations. So I will try to connect Turkish companies to Asia Pacific business platforms or companies in the coming days in a more restrictive and also more focused, tailor-made way. And I think it will be more beneficial for them. Hope we will increase trade, investment, and business relations between Turkey and Asia Pacific. And vice versa, we are also connecting Asian companies to Turkey. We will do more. We will have also tailor-made solutions to them in the coming days. Hopefully, that'll be great impact in the market. We are looking forward for that. And there's also a collaboration platform for them. They come together online. They can express themselves. That's also very nice for them because there's not a lot of platform such that they can penetrate in such way. Generally, they go to webinars, listen to some speakers there, and then get back to their own way. And they could not benefit from online events effectively. It's a kind of online fair for them, trade fair for them. And they try to benefit and they try to get more from these platforms by huge excite. That's also very good for us. So in the end, we are trying to increase trade, business, and investment relations now in digital solutions. We don't need to wait for COVID-19 to be over. So we can already offer an online solution to the companies. Hope it will work more. So coming to the end of my presentation, as you see, you can easily connect me on social media, either in Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. It's very easy. You can connect me. You can also write me on WhatsApp. I frequently check out my WhatsApp connections and I try to reply them quickly. And also you can email me from my email address. I would love to stay in touch with you. Maybe we can also have some collaboration opportunities with you and hope to fly to your country again, Philippines. I'm so excited to come together with you. As mentioned, maybe one day I can also relocate to Philippines because it's always lovely to be in touch and also to have time with friends from Philippines. Thank you very much for all your interest to my presentation. Now, I would like to check out whether we have questions in here. I think we have some questions in here as far as I see. Firstly, they ask why I focused on the trade opportunities between Turkey and Asia Pacific rather than to focus on Middle East, Russia, or Europe. Okay, it's a great question. Actually, Turkish companies do the same focus as you mentioned in your question. Generally, Turkish companies having trade with Russia, Europe, and Middle East, and they don't go further to Asia Pacific. So that's That's a kind of missing part in the trade history of Turkey. I'm trying to cover it by my personal efforts. And also, as you see, I really love Asia Pacific countries. I have a lot of friends. I have a huge network. And also, I really love to connect people from Asia Pacific. So I try to facilitate it as my career history also going along with Asia Pacific. And second one, what's your motivation for mentoring students? A great question again. Thank you for this question again. Actually, while I was a student, a university student, there were no mentoring programs. And it was a kind of missing thing in my career. I couldn't get a mentoring from a professional while I was a university student. So whenever I heard that there was a mentoring program in ITU and Yeditepe University, I would like to contribute that because I would like to help more to university students who would like to develop their career. I was always sure that if a student applied for a mentoring program, they would love to learn more from the professionals. That's the kind of structure that they could benefit more. So I tried to help them. I tried to join that kind of programs, and I tried to help these ambitious and also great students on their career path. And I'm so glad for that because that's also getting a lot of good feedback in my network. They think that mentoring students is a really good habit. And I think being a kind of role model is also going through mentoring students and mentoring people. So I kindly suggest you to focus on the people, how you can mentor, maybe from these programs or maybe outside. You can always think about it, but mentoring is really great. I'm sure that you will also enjoy mentoring people if you have a volunteering experience such that. That's the kind of thing that you can promote your leadership, you can develop your leadership as well. Yeah, this is the end of my presentation now with the questions. Hopefully you enjoyed my history, my professional experiences, and hope to connect you in the coming days. I'll be so pleased. Greetings from Turkey again. Have a nice day in Philippines. Keep safe, happy, and also kind. Philippines people are really kind, so please stay kind as well. I'm so happy to have kind people in Philippines. Have a great day again, and keep in touch. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sir Anil Dimish, for sharing us things about how to handle a business and going global, especially during the time of the pandemic. And we know, partner, that there are so many businesses affected by the COVID-19.
Yes, and this is actually an opportunity for our dear teachers to try working on your own business someday. And we've seen a lot of comments coming from our participants, so we are going to keep on posting the link for the day two attendance. Then after that, we'll be having also the link for the day one attendance together with the evaluation for our speaker for this afternoon. So as you can see on your screen, kindly take a screenshot of our day two attendance for today.
And if they weren't able to screenshot the QR code for day two, you can see on the ticker, the one that you can see below your screen, the URL for our day two registration. And I think, partner, there are teachers who can access day one, but as we have checked, the day one registration is open for non-DepEd email addresses too. So please check either your connection, then you can get back to us.
Yes, and keep on posting your screenshots and as well as your selfies on your social media accounts. And don't forget to use our hashtag EDUXGenTFL 2021.
We are so happy to see your posts and to read your thoughts about our session.
Okay, so we will now proceed to our next speaker.
Our next speaker will be talking about mobile apps for education. And
Okay, so before we proceed with that, partner, we'll be posting again here the evaluation for our speaker this afternoon.
That is right.
Okay, so this is the QR code on how you're going to evaluate Mr. Anil Demish from Istanbul, Turkey, how to be a role model in business and going global. Okay, so we also would like to acknowledge the presence of our dear participants all over the Philippines. Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in. And please be reminded that the attendance for day 1 and day 2 is extended up to 11:59 this evening only. And we will be providing you with the link for attendance for day 3 tomorrow.
Okay, so that's a clear message, our dear participants, that the day one registration link is extended, but the day two and day three links or registration links for these days are not extended. Okay, so for us to go global in terms of education, we will now moving on to knowing the mobile apps that we can use for education. Let me introduce our speaker for that topic. Our speaker, our next speaker is an edtech specialist and one of the project leads of Open Educational Resources or OER in the Department of Education Philippines. She has been working in DepEd since 2016. Part of her achievements and certifications include the following: Microsoft Education Ambassador, Microsoft Innovative Educator, Microsoft Innovative Educator Master Trainer, Microsoft Certified Educator, Google Certified Educator Level 1 and 2, Adobe Creative Educator Level 1, Apple Teacher, and Wakelet Community Leader. She's a volunteer on she's a volunteer as an online tutor in Itulay Online Tutorial and a volunteer ebook developer in DepEd. Her expertise has brought her to several speaking engagements, particularly in engaging apps or integrating apps in education. As an active advocate of OER since 2019, she has spearheaded several OER national training workshops, and in everything that she does, she offers it to the greatest glory of God. Here she is, Miss Sarah Jane Sarino.
Hello everyone, I am Sarah Jane Contreras Sarino, EdTech Specialist from the Department of Education Philippines. I am your speaker for this session, Mobile Apps for Education. At the end of the session, the participants will be able to identify different mobile apps that can be used as a tool in teaching learning process, determine the importance and benefits of mobile apps in education, understand the function of smartphones as a platform for educational applications, and familiarize SAMR model and Pedagogy Wheel version 5 in teaching with technology integration. So why use mobile apps for education? Mobile apps Mobile applications for education serve as a springboard for the educators to be more innovative and resourceful using technology in the classroom or in the teaching learning process. You don't need to be worried about schedules because anywhere can be a classroom. Learning will be more sustainable compared to the traditional learning method, which include papers, pencils, and pens. Educational apps will help learners to stay connected with their teachers too because they can access information anytime and anywhere. Through mobile apps, the teachers can easily assess and monitor the performance of their students. Using apps can save more time and cutting of trees to produce papers will be reduced. It means a greener earth for future generations. How summer model and apps can help teachers? Well, it is important to let the instructional goals drive the use of technology instead adopting a technology for the sake of adding technology to the classroom. As educators, we know that technology is a tool that complements instruction. As such, the strength of the tool is predicated on its use by skillful educator. There are certainly some exciting and revolutionary innovations, and technology as a tool can be quite powerful if it encourages creative discovery or reinforces foundational knowledge. Like we crawl before we walk, just like we memorize words or we memorize sight words before we write prose. Before I introduce you to the different mobile apps for education, let's take a look at the SumR model so that you will be guided in integrating mobile apps for education in teaching learning process. This is SumR model by Dr. Ruben Puentedura. He believes that using technology allows us to think differently and perform new tasks. It is a framework that categorizes 4 different degrees of classroom technology integration. The letters SAMR stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. The first level of the SumR model is a substitution where app is used as a direct substitute for traditional practices, and it doesn't change the learning process or outcome. The second level is the augmentation. In augmentation, the technology adds something to the learning process beyond just convenience. It might give your students a clear understanding of a complex topic or making it engaging in a way that traditional methods can. Next, in order for learning truly to be enhanced, teachers must rise to the final 2 levels. At the modification level, technology is used to design interactive and dynamic tasks that go beyond the limitation of a traditional classroom. Next is the redefinition. In redefinition, learning has the potential to connect with the real world and produce authentic outcomes. It also gives students strong technological soft skills such as digital collaboration, communication, technological literacy, and the ability to adapt new systems and processes. By rising above the bottom 2 tiers of SumR, students become more engaged in their learning, wherein where in turn transform their education experience. By redefining learning through technology, we will increase students' comprehension and involvement while also preparing them for their future careers in a digital age. This is SumR model and Bloom's taxonomy. We are able to create tasks with specific objectives linked to curricula that deeply embed technology and are enhanced by its use rather than using technology for the sake of it. In other words, we can design complex and authentic tasks that are made possible only through the use of technology. Let's now proceed to the Pedagogy Wheel version 5. This is the Pedagogy Wheel version 5 for both Android and iOS, developed by Alan Carrington. It is a great graphic feature of number of educational apps and activities to use with the different thinking levels of SumR. There are 188 suggested educational apps available in Google Play Store and 188 suggested educational apps available in the App Store. The pedagogy wheel is divided into 6 segments that relate directly to the cognitive domains of Bloom's taxonomy. It is designed to connect Bloom's taxonomy with apps. So within the six segments of the wheel, subcategories explore each domain further with related action verbs, activities, and apps. The goal of the pedagogy wheel is for students to access the higher order thinking of Bloom's or the Bloom's taxonomy via smartphone or tablet. The wheel allows teachers to develop outcome-oriented lessons by choosing an outcome activity and form of analysis or creativity. Within the six segments of the wheel, subcategories break each segment down further with section for related action verbs, activities, and apps. Each app relates to a different components of Bloom's taxonomy and capitalizes on the feature of the app to maximize the learner engagement and motivation. So if you download the PDF of the pedagogy wheel, each app is hyperlinked to its corresponding preview page. As you can see on your screen, the segments are color-coded and follow a similar structure to the Bloom's taxonomy pyramid. Starting at the top, or the top of the wheel in the green Remember segment, you move around the wheel clockwise to access more complex domain of the taxonomy. The wheel also features more in-depth elements, including some are model, suggested activities, and action verbs. So the creator, Alan Carrington, encouraged users of the wheel to investigate these elements in order to understand the full uses and capabilities of pedagogy wheel or the pedagogy wheel, right? So Carrington designed the pedagogy wheel to give teachers a model that can be applied to everything from curriculum planning, development, writing learning objectives, and designing student-centered activities. The added apps allow teachers to further enhance their activities. Ultimately, instructor can use the pedagogy wheel to increase student engagement, also to improve student outcomes and scaffold learning of higher order concepts. Let's now proceed to the different mobile applications under the first domain, right? These are the apps that fit into the remembering stage. It improves the user ability to define terms, identify facts, and recall and locate information. Many educational apps fall into the remembering phase of learning. Suggested activities are the following: recitation, flashcard, quiz, test, drill, journal, right? So this is one of the apps under remembering. This is right. So this is one of the apps under remembering. This is Duolingo. Duolingo is the fun, free app for learning 35 plus languages through quick, bite-sized lesson. I'll show you the short demonstration.
Le garçon.
L'homme. Un.
Un chat et un homme.
Right, let's proceed to the next. These are the apps that fit into understanding stage. The apps that fit into understanding stage provide opportunities for students to explain ideas or concepts. Understanding apps step away from the selection of a right answer and introduce more open-ended format for students to summarize content and translate a meaning. So the following are the suggested activities You can do activities such as summary or like summary, conclusion, implications, debates, blogging, journaling, right? So next, this is one of the apps understanding. This is Quiver. So I show you a short demonstration of Quiver app, wherein you can bring coloring app. This is an app where you can bring to life. Quiver app provides coloring. Quiver app provides coloring material for students, and then all you need to do is scan it using your smartphone app to bring it to life, right? Let's proceed. Right, so these are the apps that fit into the apply to demonstrate their ability to implement learned procedures and methods. They also highlight the ability to apply concepts in unfamiliar circumstances. Right, so these are the following activities under applying stage. Can do some editing, like photographs, demonstrations, simulations, mapping, role plays, animations, making diary, puzzles. Right, so those are the suggested activities under applying. So this is Podomat. Podomat Photomat is one of the app under applying in the pedagogy wheel. Photomat reads and solves mathematical problems instantly by using the camera of your mobile device. So using this app, you will learn how to solve mathematical problems in clear steps and detailed instruction. You can even choose between multiple explanation methods for some problems. I'll show you some short demonstration. Let's watch this. All right, so that is Photomat. Let's now proceed to the next level, the analyzing. And analyzing, so these are the apps, as you can see on your screen. These are the apps that fit into the analyzing stage from the Pedagogy Wheel version 5. It improves the user ability to differentiate between the relevant and irrelevant, or to determine relationship and recognize the organization of content. Okay, so suggested activities under analyzing stage are media clipping, reporting, databases building questionnaires, surveying, graphs, summaries, charting, mashup, reverse engineering, right? And many more. So this is one of the app, an alternative app available in the Google Play Store. This is Forms app. One of the apps under analyzing. Again, this is an alternative app. It is useful to conduct surveys online and to view responses in mobile device itself via Google Forms and Survey Heart. All right, let's now proceed to the next stage. These are the apps that fit into the evaluating stage. It improves the user ability to judge material or methods based on criteria set by themselves or external sources. They help students judge content reliability, such as accuracy, quality, effectiveness, and reach informed decision. So suggested activities under evaluating are the following. You can do some survey, persuasive speech, forum post, review networking, investigation, critiquing, reporting, simulation, right? So those are the sample activities under evaluation. Let's now proceed to the next stage. This is an example before we proceed to the next stage. This is Class Dojo. This is one of the apps under evaluating. It is a school communication platform that teachers, students, and families use to build close-knit communities by sharing what's being learned in the classroom through photos, videos, and messages. It is an online behavior management system intended to foster positive student behaviors and classroom culture. Students earn dojo points based on their classroom conduct and also to keep parents up to date and student progress and classroom happenings. Class Dojo is completely free for users. So this is one of the app under evaluating. All right, let's now proceed to the next stage, creating. So these are the apps that fit into the creating stage. It provides opportunities for students to generate ideas, design plans, and produce products. Suggested activities under the creating are the following: video casting, programming, narration, multimedia presentation, blogging, podcasting, video editing, modeling, animating, storytelling, or TV radio program. Show you a short demonstration after this in short introduction about the iMovie. iMovie is a great movie and a trailer or filmmaker. So I've been using this app since 2016. There are also alternative apps like CapCut and VN in the Play Store. With iMovie, you can bring your lessons to life through video, sound, and pictures, and even your own voice duration. iMovie is a powerful and highly engaging tool for students to share their knowledge and express themselves in the form of digital movies, and you can easily share best classroom practices with your peers. So a student can create compelling projects that combine digital video, photos, and music. So this is the short video demonstration on how to use iMovie. Good day, this is Ma'am Jane. Are we digitally ready? This is the question that teachers and learners are probably asking right now. So after that, import the video in the iMovie, insert the background, and insert the video that you want to edit. Right? That's it. So in a very can easily create your own video presentation. And then also don't forget to rename your file before saving or importing it. Right? So that's it. Good day. This is Ma'am Jane. Are we digitally ready? This is the question that teachers and learners are probably asking right now. Right, there you go. That is the iMovie. Let's now proceed to the next. Good day. This is Next is the AppGazer. AppGazer is one of or AppGazer is one of or AppsGazer is an online Android app tool platform that provides the essential tools for potential apps maker to use to create Android apps. So during the OER training workshop in the Philippines, Mr. Mark Anthony C., head of the EdTech unit, trained the teachers to create their own Android apps using the AppsGazer to create their own Android apps using the apps gazer to supplement the needs of the learners. Right? I'll show you some output of teachers who created an app using apps gazer to address the needs of their learners in these trying times. So we have here from courtesy of Mr. Mark P. Armenta from Santa Maria National High School. So this is the interface created by sample interface created by Mr. Mark P. Armenta. He created an app for his students in grade 10 science. Next is courtesy of Mr. J.L. Pangilinan. He created an app to supplement the learning materials for his students in grade 10 TLE. So this is the sample screenshot of the application sample interface. Next, we have from Miss Catherine L. Ople. She created an app for her student in media and information literacy. So this is the sample screen record of the app. The student will scratch the image and then will guess what is the image shown. So that's it. That is the output of the teachers using the Android app. The apps gazer rather. So what are the things you need to consider in choosing apps to meet your learning goals? Right? So enable for you to meet your learning goals, start it by exploring the apps on the Pedagogy. After that, after deciding on course or class outcome, take some time exploring apps. And after you explore these apps, you may choose to customize with Pedagogy wheel with other apps that are relevant to your specialty. Remember to choose the apps that is suitable for your learners. By starting with these apps, you are guaranteed to be using high quality and effective apps. So that's it. Let's also try to consider these few key questions before integrating educational apps. How can my lesson be improved using mobile apps for education? How can I engage and empower my student through mobile apps for education? How equip are my students and I to use this technology? And how will it make a difference to my students' learning? According to George Corus, technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. Once again, this is Sarah Jane Contreras-Serino from the Department of Education, Philippines. Thank you, everyone. God bless.
All right, thank you very much, Ma'am Sarah Jane, one of our EdTech specialists, for discussing to us the mobile apps for education. So before we proceed with our next speaker, we will be posting the evaluation link for Miss Sarah Jane C. Sarino.
And because we will be having a blended learning for the next school year, the mobile applications that Ms. Sarah J. Serena shared with us, I know will be very useful to us.
All right, so take your cameras ready. As you can see now, the screenshot or the link, you may take a screenshot for the QR code for the mobile apps for education for Miss Sarah Jane C. Sarino's evaluation. All right. So, partner, we will now proceed directly to our next speaker. And our next speaker is Miss Tanja McCandy, and she has been involved in English education for over 20 years and has worked in various contexts in Canada, UK, and Japan. She is a founder of www.equityhealthjapan.net, a 2019 Best of Job recipient, Cambridge University Press lead teacher training in Japan, and an author for ABACS ELT. Her research interests include gender, teacher education, and leadership. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present to you. She is a university lecturer from Nagoya, Japan, and her topic is about supporting student-centered classes. Um, let's all welcome Ms. Tanja Makandi Nanzan.
My name is Tanya McCandy. Welcome. I am joining you from Japan, where I am a university English teacher here. I have been doing this now for approximately 15 years at the university level and about 20 to 25 years in terms of secondary and university. So welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to be talking about supporting student-centered classes. This presentation will focus primarily on activities and how we can increase involving our students in what we do in the classroom. And it will also look at some classroom management techniques. So we're going to back to basics, basically, how we can provide support for our students, but also empower our students. So one of the questions that gets asked when I talk about student-centered classrooms is, what exactly is a student-centered classroom? It's worth noting that for people of my generation, most of us would have grown up basically in a teacher-centered classroom environment. I realize that there's going to be a lot of people from all over the world watching this. My experiences are based on the Canadian education system, and now being in Japan for nearly 20 years teaching in Japan. So probably easier if I focus on what exactly a teacher-centered classroom is at the beginning. When I went to school, a lot of my classrooms were set up in rows. Didn't sit in groups or partners as is a little more common now for some places. But I sat in rows, and the teacher was primarily at the front of the classroom. The teachers would decide what we were studying, how we were going to study it, how much time we had to work on activities in the classroom. And a lot of the classes that I was in, including language classes, I studied French, the classes were quite silent and very teacher-driven, in that the teacher was at the front, the teacher would give instructions on what we were to do. There wasn't a lot of discussion between students on what we were supposed to do. If you had questions, you would ask the teacher for help, and the teacher remained at the front of the class, basically because I think teachers often feel like that's where we're supposed to be, at the front of the class, making sure that our students are on task, that they don't have any questions, that they don't have any problems, and we can monitor the students from the front of the classroom. My experience with teacher-centered classes is that teachers were in control. They decided nearly everything that we did. Over the last couple of years, there has been a shift in ideology, teaching ideology, and what teachers should be doing. I am of the personal belief now that I am a facilitator. I want to empower my students. I want to support my students. And in doing that, I have had to basically adapt how I taught and make my classes more student-centered, in that my focus now is on the needs of my students, the interests of my students, their ability, what they can do, what they can't do, and what they are interested in. And I think with this, we have seen a shift from things like seating arrangements. I'm sure some of you who are watching this now have your students sitting in groups or with partners rather than in rows. This is actually creating a student-centered classroom, a student-centered environment. One of the questions that I will ask right now is, when you teach, where do you stand? It sounds a bit like a strange question, I know, but when you are teaching, you think about your classroom now, and if you set up activities or give students something to do, where do you stand? Do you stand at the front? Do you stand at the side? The reason for this is because if you are a student-centered classroom, a lot of the times the teacher will at the front explain instructions or explain what's going to be happening in the lesson, and then move to the side or move to the back and give students a chance to talk amongst themselves in groups with their partner and discuss what they need to do, and then just get on with it. As teachers, I know it's a little bit strange for us to sort of give control over to our students, but this is what we're going to be focusing on for student-centered classrooms. So for this, for student-centered classrooms, a lot of it is to combat passive students. I know that in my experience of being a student and being a teacher now, I have been a very passive student sometimes, in that I have not necessarily been interested in some of the lessons that my teachers have prepared for me. But I also know that some of my students are not highly motivated. I teach both English majors and non-English majors, and the motivation is very different with individual students. Some students are highly, highly motivated, and some are not at all. And for the students that are not highly motivated at all, we do want to create a classroom environment in which we are reducing how passive they are in our classes. I personally do not want to create a classroom environment where students feel that they can sit and not participate in my classes. There are numerous reasons for that. One being that I think it can be difficult for other students if they're partnered with somebody who's not really inspired to study. But another reason for that is if my students are passive and my students aren't highly motivated, I think that is a reflection on the kind of classes I'm conducting and the kind of teacher that I am, in that I really want to support my students as much as possible. I want to engage my students as much as possible. And in doing that, that means that I actually have to listen to what the students' interests are and what their needs are, and try and figure out how I can incorporate what they want to learn or what they're interested in into my lessons. So that creates a student-centered classroom, thinking about the needs of our students, the interests of our students. One of the things that goes hand in hand with student-centered classrooms is active learning. I know for some other countries right now, perhaps active learning is not a huge buzzword. It is huge right now in Japan. Active learning, again, we're focusing on taking our lessons and taking our classroom environments, and rather than having passive students, we're making learning active. Active learning doesn't mean that the students are up and moving around and being physically active. I know that some of the teachers that I have spoken to have thought that this is what active learning means. It's not necessarily what it means. Active learning is just basically trying to engage with our students in ways that they are not just constantly sitting at their desk and we are top down talking to students or basically talking at our students. We want to engage our students. And by doing that, by increasing active learning in the classrooms, the students will hopefully engage a little bit more in our lessons and hopefully find some motivation. The activities in terms of active learning I will discuss in a couple of minutes, but active learning is basically trying to engage our students, again, empowering our students, giving students the opportunities to make decisions about what they study and how they study. I think one of the things with regards to our students is that what we think we are doing is what's best for our students, but please do remember that students are different. They learn in different ways, they have different needs, they have different interests, and basically we want to somehow figure out how we can encourage and support and motivate all of our students, regardless of their level, their ability, their interests, and their motivation. We need to try and create that motivation for our students. One of the things that I do think that we need to be very, very aware of as teachers is that we need to have high expectations of our students. Our students can do a lot more than we think they can at times. Again, it's for the teacher-centered. Teachers often feel that we need to be in control of the class. We need to tell the students what they need to do, how they need to do it. We need to start trusting our students that they know what they can and cannot do, and if they need help, they will ask for support. Please be aware that asking for support does not always mean asking us as teachers. I know that a lot of the times the belief that students chatting between themselves is problematic. If you have students sitting in groups or sitting in partners, when I give instructions, because I'm teaching English and some of my students don't have a really high level of English, my instructions can be quite confusing to the students. So I will give instructions. I will give students, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds as groups or as partners to talk about what I have asked them to do. And then if nobody has a problem, then I just let them get on with it, okay? So again, we need to trust our students. Students can do more than we think that they can. We do, however, need to provide the support for them. The idea that I just gave you now of having students work together and figure out the instructions is such a thing that the students can do in terms of we're providing support for them, but we're also giving them a little bit of power and control over how they're learning and giving them a chance to speak to their friends about what they're doing. I know that peer learning, student-on-student learning is not necessarily something that all teachers actively encourage. Would like to draw your attention to that because I think it is extremely important if you want to create a student-centered classroom, and that our students often learn a lot more from their peers than they do from us. As teachers, we do have a lot of knowledge that we want to pass down to our students, but there are times that we don't necessarily know how to communicate that properly with our students. We don't necessarily understand the struggles that our students are having. So if you can provide opportunities for your students to work together, ask each other questions, make sure they understand the instructions, you have a lot more peer learning opportunities being provided there. Again, that would be student-centered classroom. You're giving the students opportunities to talk to each other and learn from each other, as opposed to being the top-down teacher-centered class. I know for this topic, because I'm focusing on English here, some teachers will ask me, does everything have to be done in English? I realize this is it's controversial for some teachers, but for me personally, depending on the level of class that I'm teaching and the level of students and the motivation of students, I have no problem with giving instructions in English and having students have 30 to 45 seconds in their groups or in their pairs to discuss the instructions in their first language. So in my case, that would be in Japanese. I think it's actually more supportive for my students this way if they're low-level students and they have low motivation, because I want to be able to support them to do the activity. And if they're struggling with the instructions, it just makes sense for me that, let them speak in Japanese for 30 seconds, talk about what they need to do. And then if they need help with the activity, I can provide support for the activity rather than trying to explain to them how to do the activity in English. So I realize that not everybody watching this right now is going to be agreeing with me on that, but the belief that language classes always have to be in the language that is being studied, I think it's highly debatable. Some teachers will definitely say, no, they need to be doing everything in English. And I support that. But for me personally, depending on the level of my students, I would prefer that they spend more time on the activities than trying to figure out the instructions. Right? And again, something like that, where the students are working together, it's peer learning, but it's also active learning, because again, I'm not the one who's instructing everything to them. They're working together to figure out what they need to do, and then they're getting on with the activity. Just to move on, what is student autonomy? Again, I think this has also become a buzzword throughout Asia at the moment in terms of empowering students to be able to make decisions for themselves. Again, this is based around the student-centered classroom. We want to encourage students to make decisions about how they're going to study, what they're going to study. Please don't think I'm saying I'm giving up all of my power and I'm turning everything over to the students and the students decide everything. That is absolutely not what the situation is. In a couple of minutes, we'll take a look at some activities that help increase student autonomy. But as a teacher, yes, we need to work with our students to set goals. The goals that I set for my classes are not the reflective of student individual goals. So please do be aware that while we set out, this is what I'm going to teach the students this year, this is what I want to get through, please be aware that we also need to work on individual students and have our students do goal setting, give them the autonomy of what do they want to improve on. Do they want to improve their grammar? Do they want to improve their listening? Do they want to improve their reading? And then how can we support our students for them to achieve the goals? So for student autonomy, as I just said, we're giving students power to make decisions about how they learn. I think as teachers, we can all agree that we appreciate when our school administration gives us opportunities to share our ideas and allows us to try new things and listens to us. As teachers, we all have very different teaching styles and very different teaching methods. And I think that when we are speaking to principals or administration or head teachers, we really do appreciate when we feel our voices are being heard. Our students are no different. We do need to set the curriculum, obviously. We do need to be the ones who talk about, think about rubrics and mark a really long way to sit down and listen to your students. It's just basic things like, what are their hobbies? What are they interested in? What do they want to do in the future? And how can we incorporate those interests into their lessons? How can we make them feel heard and make them feel understood? So again, it helps motivate our students and they feel that the class is student-centered. So for student autonomy, again, we're just increasing the power that students have to decide what they study and how they want to study, or setting goals. So with student autonomy, one of the things that comes into play is personalization. So why is personalization important to students and their learning? As I've just said, As teachers, we feel empowered, we feel heard when administration listens to us, incorporates some of our ideas, and gives us opportunities to try new things. Trying new things doesn't always mean everything is going to be successful. I think all teachers have tried new things, and we have come up with great lesson plans, and they have not necessarily worked, but we were provided with opportunities to try new things. And I think it's very important for us to allow students opportunities to do this as well. And this is where personalization is very important for our students. I know for a lot of us, we have textbooks that we need to use. They're either, the Ministry of Education or, the head teacher or administration has decided on a series of textbooks. And I'll give you an example. Students need to do a reading. For example, this reading might be on the history of their country. Well, of course, it's really important for the students to read and to do what is being done in the textbook. As teachers, this is what we have to do. We do have to find a nice balance between doing what we need to do, because that's our job, but then also opening things up for students and creating opportunities for students to personalize their learning. So for an example, for something like this, if you are conducting a lesson on your country's history, for a homework assignment, why not give students an opportunity to find out about another country and what's their history? I mean, if they're doing a short presentation or whatnot, give the students an opportunity to pick a country that they want to learn about. If they're learning about people, why don't you give the students an opportunity to pick who they want to learn about or give a presentation about? The personalization aspect is really important. A lot of textbooks focus on sports. Not all of our students like sports. A lot of the textbooks focus on things like music. Not all of our students really like music or movies or certain TV shows. So by opening up the opportunities for our students to decide, we're talking about this TV show or this movie or this country, opening it up for students and saying, hey, why don't you focus on something that you want to focus on? They're still completing the work that needs to be done. They're still using the vocabulary that you've been teaching in class, but you're providing a chance for the students to research something they're interested in or talk about something that they're interested in. And again, you're creating that motivation for the students. You're showing that you're listening to the students. The students feel respected. And basically what we hope is in the long run is that this will help motivate our students. And the students will want to participate more in classes. They won't be the passive students that we often were and sometimes still have as our own students. So the personalization allows students to decide what they want to study or what they want to research for certain homework assignments. Obviously, this is not something that we can do all the time. Please be aware that even though it's student-centered doesn't mean that the students have free reign over everything. As teachers, we do need to set the foundation, but we do need to provide opportunities for student-centered classroom for the students to be able to have some direction and say in what they're learning. So these are, I'm just going to move that, my apologies. These are some ideas and activities to empower students and create student-centered classes. So I did talk a little bit earlier about my experience as a student and some of the observations I've had as a teacher, in that, students sitting in rows and sitting quietly and whatnot. Student-centered classes allow your students to sit in groups and pairs or pairs. One of the questions that comes up with this is who decides the pairs and who decides the groups? I think you know your situation, you know your classes, you know your students, and should feel that they can, if you know that that's not a good idea, then also be aware and you can make the groups or the pairs. And then hopefully after they learn how to work in groups and pairs for a while, you can start to trust them a little bit more and give them some opportunities to make their own groups and their own pairs. Class discussion. Class discussion does not mean teachers are speaking most of the time. I know this is really hard. I like to talk a lot. Class discussion really should be an opportunity for the students to speak out and share their ideas, share their feelings. Of course, as teachers, you will provide support for that, but class discussion is not the time for us as teachers to speak a lot. Small group discussions, if you have your students sitting in groups and pairs, it's a great time to ask them questions about, what do you think? How did you feel? And allow them the opportunities to share their ideas and experiences with their groups. Debate is the same. You get to decide, today, whatever topic they want to talk about, okay, so who's for, who's against, and give them those opportunities for that. Peer assessment depends a lot on how you set up rubrics. You can do pass-fail situations. You can do a lot of the times for me for peer assessment, I ask students to give constructive criticism, 3 things that you thought this person was fantastic at, and 1 thing that you think this student could improve upon. Students really like doing peer assessment if it's set up well, and that they really do care about what their classmates think of them and their peers think of them. They don't necessarily always want to know what teachers think of them. So if you can provide opportunities for peer assessment, they really like getting positive feedback from their classmates. Have students work together on tasks. Again, I reflect back to my experiences as a student in that I did a lot of work alone, and I was given handouts or worksheets, and I worked quietly. And it would have been nice, and it still is nice as a teacher to work with other teachers. It would have been nice as a student to be able to sit in a group or with a partner and work on things together, so that when I had trouble understanding something, I had somebody that I could ask and say, hey, I don't understand this, can you help me? So it provides that opportunity again for the peer learning with each other, and that they can work together and support each other. Same goes for having students correct each other's work. Give them a couple of minutes to work on something, have them swap papers. Again, as teachers, you know your students, you know who works well together, you know who doesn't work well together. You do have to be aware of that, but students do enjoy correcting each other's work. And then, if students don't understand something and their friend got something right, they can have their friend explain it to them, rather than having you as the teacher at the front of the classroom explaining things. Give students time to review incorrect answers with their peers. Again, that goes back to what I've just said. Provide students with opportunities to be teachers themselves or facilitators themselves, and they gain motivation, they gain confidence by helping their friends with things. And then 2, again, sometimes as teachers, we don't necessarily understand why students are confused about something or why they don't understand something, and their peers do. So it provides opportunities for the students to work together. And it also, as teachers, gives us a chance to step back a little bit and, monitor the classroom, walk around the classroom, and take a look at what our students are doing. And it's not focused on us all the time. Give the students an opportunity to work together and help each other. And then the last idea that I have is to give students time to work on homework together. This is very similar to have students work together on tasks. Sometimes students want to just be silly and they don't really want to work on homework. And I understand that. Again, that comes down to your understanding of how your classroom dynamics work. I generally try and give my students opportunities to work on homework together, just because it provides a little bit of support if they don't understand instructions or they have questions. They can work together on that. And then if they still don't understand, then they can ask me. But again, it provides that opportunity for them to work together, to get the peer feedback, to get the peer support. And it's student-centered. It's not teacher-centered. I don't have the time to always answer all of the students' questions. So if they're working together, they can help each other. And that is the end of my presentation. I do hope that you found a few ideas today that you can take into your classroom tomorrow. I do hope that people have a little bit more awareness now of why it's so important for us as teachers to back off a little bit and give our students some opportunities to make mistakes and work with each other and talk amongst themselves in their classroom. Thank you very much.
All right. So again, thank you very much to our speaker, Ms. Tanja Makandi-Nanzan, about her topic supporting student-centered classes. So we will now be posting the evaluation link for our previous speaker. All right, so there you have it. This is the QR code and the link for the evaluation for our previous speaker, Ms. Tanja Makandi-Nanzan from Nagoya, Japan. And we will be posting also the evaluation link, of course, for Miss Maria May Sevilla.
Yeah, so here it is. There, you can use the link or scan the QR code to evaluate me during my presentation in our AM session. And we would like to thank our participants, our teachers who are still watching us right now. And we are now down to our last speaker for today. And our last speaker will be talking about Microsoft and then the power and then the tools that Microsoft offers. She is lying beneath the small frame of our speaker is a ball of energy and innovative ideas. With more than 10 years of experience, Gleda Tagibao's wide range of expertise makes her a key player in the education landscape. She's an educational technology specialist and she specializes in computer programming and in hardware servicing. Both are the NC4 and NC2 certifications under her belt. As an educator, she is one of the country's Microsoft certified trainer, Microsoft Education Ambassador, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, Microsoft Certified Educator, and Microsoft Office Associate, and has recently been awarded the Google Certified Educator Level 1 and Level 2, AZ 900 and AI 900. She is also a core member of Hack the North PH, a nonprofit organization which brings the elite IT conferences to Northern Philippines. She is the lead on training and member of the security operations in the field. She is also an active lead learner at DevCon Kids, a volunteer organization of technology, teaching and learning in computer coding, learning experiences to kids. Glenna graduated from F.L. Vargas College with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. She then continued to earn her master's degree from Cagayan State University, Carib Campus, and 18 units of doctorate degree from St. Paul University, Philippines. At present, she is set to finish her second master's degree, Master of Arts major in Administration and Supervision from the University of Cagayan Valley. She is known inside the classroom as a visionary and hands-on teacher using a training and knowledge of ICT to create interactive and engaging learning activities. She is most known for teaching computer programming through play, the very subject of the research and project that she presented in an international arena. She was invited as a speaker for the ICTS-EdTech Asia 2019 in Singapore on programming through play as part of the Burr-funded research multimedia kit in enhancing grade 11 computer programming skills. She is also one of the first batch of teachers to finish the GRO 21 Teach Excels in Region 2, and she has been invited to share her notable experiences through the Simeo Inatech Plots of Learning session. Since being part of DepEd 2016 as one of the pioneer senior high school teachers, Glenna, or Glance as she is fondly called, has been requested to lecture for numerous trainings and conferences from the division level up to the division to the national level to share her expertise and to help fellow educators seamlessly transition from traditional to 21st century teaching through ICT integration. Her skills truly make her stand out from the crowd. She's not only an ICT educator, but she's also an in-demand layout artist of DepEd books and consultant. Despite her numerous achievements, what matters most for her is to be able to share her talents and to create positive change. Ladies and gentlemen, our last speaker, Ma'am Glenna A. Tagibaw.
Good day to each and everyone. So I'm Glenna Itigibao, an educational technology specialist of DepEd Central Office Philippines. And I will be with you to discuss our milestones in the Microsoft team of Educational Technology Unit. And at the same time, I wanted to share also the value of certifications. The abrupt shift to distance learning directly challenged the knowledge, mindsets, and skills of our teacher workforce in these trying times. So to help support the school communities who are transitioning to distance or hybrid learning across the country, we in the DepEd Educational Technology Unit and in partnership with Microsoft Philippines, we considered preparing different webinars to upskill and reskill new competencies for our teachers and students to help them prepare with the necessary skills in catering the needs of our students. With the help of the Microsoft 365 tools that we use in our series of webinars and the help also of Microsoft Philippines, with Miss Clarissa Sigismundo and Miss Grace Ko, and so with the team, and so with our partners, our Microsoft Education Ambassadors and MIEs in the field, educators now are empowered to unlock creativity, promote teamwork, and provide a simple and safe experience in a single affordable solution built for education. I wanted to share with you our milestones in the team. So we already have 40 episodes. We empower our Microsoft Education Ambassadors as guest speakers in our webinars. We already reached 2 million views in our EdTech unit Facebook page. And we also have different channels like in our YouTube. And the programs that we prepared for our teachers are the following. We have Tech Talks. That's for our morning session. We have also our My Tech Talk in the afternoon. We also started our certifications program. And we help also Microsoft Education Philippines in the Microsoft Education Ambassador recruitment. And at the same time, we also extended our reach to our educators to create a bigger community of certified MIEs. And to build the trust of our participants and our educators who supported us in our webinars, we also started our journey to be certified. So most all of us in the Microsoft team of the Educational Technology unit, and so with our co-members in the EdTech unit, we are now Microsoft certified specialists or Microsoft Office specialists or Microsoft Azure fundamental specialists already in the team. So here's our Microsoft certification database in this year. So what's nice on getting certification is the skills that you will learn, the badges that will be added that you can also share in your social media platforms, in your portfolios. And take note, this is international recognition and it doesn't expire ever. So in Department of Education, we extended our certification program also with our fellow educators. So there are exams on Microsoft fundamentals. We have also exams on the Microsoft Office specialists with the help of our partners like Odentes Technologies and Line Learning and Development. So these programs made possible with the help of our partners. We have also this webinar for our students to prepare them to bridge the gap between our senior high school graduates and to prepare them to have building, for example, if they wanted to build an impactful resume and professional brand online. So this webinar is for our students. For our social media campaign, we already created a Facebook page to connect with our fellow educators. And we can also extend here our help if they reach us in our Facebook page. And here are the following top videos in our EdTech Facebook page. We have the webinar on the Wakelet education. We have also on the webinars on Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoints. Because those are the much needed tools of our teachers from creating their teaching and learning in the field. Right? And here are the following challenges that we encountered. Searching for speakers for a particular topic. So that's one of our problem. Having a sponsorship for our prizes because we wanted to share also with our educators. Our DepEd Philippines FB reach, the technical issues that's mostly our encountered problem in every webinars that we have. And our solution, so more networking to other agencies, connections, and we also broadcast our webinars in DepEd Philippines. So future programs and projects, strong partnership with Microsoft Philippines and other stakeholders. We have also PSIDE if that's possible, and virtual ComLab for pilot testing. And another future programs and projects, so create a greater impact in our social media campaigns. So we have My Tech Talk FB group 100% increase. We have also future programs and projects on student ambassadorship. And we also plan to become a Microsoft certification training testing center. Another future programs and projects, this game-based learning will start this July and August. The Tech Talks and My Tech Talk. And we have also future programs on digital citizenship. Now, let's move on to the value of certification. Okay. With certificate, you can demonstrate that you possess certain knowledge, skills, and competencies, and prove that you meet a specific set of standards. A certificate or certification is always awarded by an independent third party, such as institute of learning or agencies. Through the certification, this party provides affirmation of 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 the learnings that you earned from that particular exam, and if you meet the aforementioned standards and requirements. So why do we need to be certified? For validation of knowledge, increase marketability, increase your earning power. For students, you can enhance your academic performance, improve your reputation, enhance your credibility, increase confidence, and you can also gain respect from your peers, because skills have become a global currency of the 21st century economies. And in a world where competition for jobs, pay increases, and academic success continues to increase, certifications offer hope because they are credible, third-party assessment of one's skill and knowledge for a given subject. Now, as an individual getting certified, so if you start that with Microsoft certifications, this will help you enhance your professional credibility, extend knowledge and skills, preparing you for more job responsibilities, serves as a portable proof of your ability, enriches your self-image and reputation among your peers, and at the same time, it encourages lifelong learning and professional development. So getting started with getting your certification. So you can visit Microsoft Learn for more information. So earning a Microsoft certification is globally recognized and industry-endorsed evidence of mastering real-world skills. So it shows you demonstrate proficiency in keeping pace with technology. It's a career move that yields many positive results. For example, people looking to sharpen or add their skills can expect to be more productive and efficient in their roles, and that's true. IT professionals who have achieved a relevant role-based technical certification perform on average 26% or higher, better than uncertified colleagues. So getting a Microsoft certification is also a great way to break into a tech industry, because in the tech industry, especially here in the Philippines and even abroad, they really require these certifications to enter in their company. So a Microsoft certification immediately confers a level of authority and expertise, especially helpful for someone new to the industry. So how to become a Microsoft certified, right? So that will be mostly your questions. So a great place to begin the to begin your certification is to visit Microsoft Learn and check the certifications overview, where you can learn about the certifications and explore your options by role or certification level. If you already know which certification you are interested in, you can filter and search for it from browsing, from the certifications page. And take note, every certification has a details page where it composes with informations about which exams you need to take and how to pass and earn that certification. And some certifications only require you to pass a single exam, while others require more than one. Okay? And the certification details page also includes information about the skills measured in the exams, how you can prepare, the links to register for the exams. You can check if you wanted to have your exams online. Okay? And each exam also has a detail page where you can see the specific information for that single exam. Okay, so that's for more information. Kindly visit Microsoft Learn slash certifications. So with that, I share with you my team members also in the Educational Technology Unit. We have Sir Mark Anthony Hamisal. We have also our head in our Educational Technology Unit. We have Sir Mark Anthony C, Ma'am Maria Remalin Cruz. We have Ma'am Rubilin Pastrano, Sir Glenny, and we have also Sir Glenn Horanio and yours truly. And I wanted to end my sharing with a quote from Endel Edit that acquiring certificates without putting the mind at work is completely a waste of education. So that's very important. If you really wanted to take the exam or if you really wanted to be certified, so make sure that you focus on it, you review, you take time on taking the exam, and it's never a waste to invest on yourself. So with that, thank you so much for being with me in this session, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am Glenna, for sharing with us the things that we can do with Microsoft and the power it brings to our educators.
Yes, and we are now going to give you the evaluation links for our speakers for the PM session.
For our first speaker this afternoon is the link in the QR code that you can use to evaluate Miss Rowena A. Reyes.
Next up is our speaker. Okay, so here's now the evaluation link for Sir Ariel de los Santos about alternative learning system, or ALS, EdTech empowerment.
Next to Sir Ariel de los Santos is Sir Anil Dimish, and his topic is how to be a role model in business and going global.
And of course, we also have here another link for Miss Sarah Jane Sarino, and her topic is all about mobile apps for education.
After Miss Sarah Jane's talk, we will now have the URL and the QR code for Miss Tanja Makandi Nazan's talk about supporting student-centered classes. You can use the link and the QR code to evaluate her presentation a while ago.
And of course, here's the link for Miss Glenda A. Tagibaw, and her topic is all about Microsoft.
Later after this, we will again be presenting the link and the QR code for my presentation. I believe many educators would like to evaluate the presentation.
Okay, so here's the evaluation for Miss Maria May Sevilla.
There you go. Again, teachers, we are so thankful that you are with us for day 2 of our multidisciplinary international webinar series. But before we say goodbye, we would like to flash again the links for the day 1 registration and the second day also. You can see on your screen the link that you can use to register for day 1. Again, it's open for DepEd email users and non-DepEd email users.
Okay, and please be reminded that the link is only available until 11:59 tonight.
And there'll be no extension for day 2 and day 3. We just heed to the popular demand of opening the day 1 registration. It's because we want our participants to register themselves for the first day of our webinar series. Now you can see here the link and the QR code for you to be able to register for our second day.
All right, so there you have it. And I'm sure Miss May tomorrow is going to be a blast because, as they say, we're going to save the best for last. So watch out for our roster of speakers tomorrow, which is our day 3 and last day of this webinar for teachers.
And with Sir Jeff tomorrow is Miss Pamela Villanueva to fill in for me as the host of our webinar series.
Yes, but for sure, we're going to have another set of webinars wherein Miss May will be our host also.
And I will be looking forward to that. Thank you, participants. Thank you, teachers, for staying with us, watching with us, and participating with us, because we can see the answers of our participants in the comment section. We cannot really go to them one by one, but we really appreciate that you keep the comment section active and alive. So, this is Miss Maria Mayan Sevilla.
And I am John Jefferson Sevilla, and we are praying for the safety of everyone. And see you on our last day of this international multidisciplinary webinar for teachers. Goodbye.
Thank you.
As we face the command of rapid development and technological innovation in the world, the Philippines' preparedness in advancement of its physical facilities, infrastructure, and soft skills are given focus, especially with the empowerment of teachers' capacity and capability, not only in pedagogical aspects of teaching, but the confidence in delivering instruction with the use of information and communications technology. The Office of the Undersecretary for Administration, under the leadership of USEC Alain Delby Pasqua, established the Educational Technology Unit under the Information and Communications Technology Service. Its prime function is to empower and capacitate public school teachers and learners as required by the global demand of the fast-paced development in technology. The task of the Educational Technology Unit is to promote and solidify the innovation and digitization projects that will support the requirements of the K-12 curriculum in delivering quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating education for all. It targets different components and facets of skills development, which will enable the technological advancement of the infrastructure of DepEd. This is supplemented with empowerment training programs in emerging technologies for public school teachers. The programs of the EdTech unit target the emerging pedagogies focused on open educational resources, robotics and mechatronics, coding and programming, virtual reality and augmented reality in education, mobile application development, Internet of Things, and the productivity tools for learning, which includes Microsoft Office 365, Google Apps for Education, and the different Adobe software tools. In addition, the maneuver of in-house applications such as the DepEd Commons and the DepEd Learning Management System is under the flagship of the EdTech unit. The supervision of DepEd TV in ensuring world-class produced video lessons is another task of the office. Lastly, the conduct of free online tutorial session, coined with the term eTulay, is a bridging program to support learners and parents in answering the self-learning modules pioneered with the initiative of the ICTS-EdTech unit. A teacher's influence is limitless, bound with the heart for service and dedication to fulfill the greatest mission to educate the young. The ICTS Educational Technology Unit will be there to promote, to empower, and to inspire Filipino teachers and learners as we grow as a tiger in the region, hitting our target as one of the best in educational technology. Come on and join us as we make our dreams into a reality. Sama-sama tayong lahat tungo sa iisang layunin. Simulan natin ang pagbabago dahil tayo ang mga gurong magtatayo ng makabagong DepEd. Sulong Edukalidad.